combine three elements: extreme, metal, and hype. It's chaos.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to this week's Anarchy Arena Talk Show. Sorry for the delay there. The hotkeys didn't want to work. Welcome to the Anarchy Arena Talk Show on its, once again, new home, the Metal Barrett channel. I'm, of course, the Metal Barrett. We're going to go around the round table and enjoy all the new faces that we have this evening. As always, in his permanent spot over there, John the Joker 13 in his box. John the Joker 13, how are we doing this evening?
What's this guy?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Don't worry about that for right now.
Hello, everybody of the Anarchy Arena. Everybody, welcome to the Anarchy Arena Talk Show. We're going to talk about a couple of video games, a little bit of science. Hopefully, we'll get to that. I'll hold them to it.
Okay.
And we're going to be talking about other tech news and stuff like that. It's a little bit of a short week, so don't expect too much from us. But we're going to try and liven it up with our special guest here tonight. But I want to kick it down to the man that we haven't seen in a good long damn while, and we've missed him because he may be an asshole, but he's our asshole. I'm gonna kick you down to Mallard. How you doing today, bud?
Hey, it's good to see everybody again. Sorry I couldn't be on for a while.
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah,
he was too busy living it up on a tropical island.
Yeah, this little tropical island though, they had to pump in the internet. And the 12-year-old Filipino boy would give up sometimes, so we would just do without. Yeah, it was not good for streaming or gaming or anything like that. So I actually had to go outside and do things every day.
God, outside, Jesus.
Yeah,
but the internet's not free outside. Yeah, the graphics are horrible. Yeah, the motion tracking is just absolutely abysmal. Why would you do that?
Oh, the scuba diving, the fishing, and everything that wasn't associated with work.
Yeah,
well, okay, you got us there. You got us there.
It's Japan's Hawaii.
Yeah, basically.
Fair enough.
Tourist trap.
It's like it's close enough to Japan to be like tourist friendly, and close enough to Thailand to be just a little bit dirty. Like,
oh yeah, it's very dirty.
Yeah, we have heard the stories. We had another friend of ours that did a stint in Guam for a while, but he has a different take on it because he was a single man. So I'm sure you know just how much of a different take that could be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I saw it. Didn't partake.
He was also a polo pirate, so you know.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's good. Yeah, it's good to have good old Mallard back stateside, just in time, back from Guam. But of course, there are two other faces here with us tonight. As promised, we've been building this up for months. It finally happened, ladies and gentlemen. Sitting next to me for the first time here on the Anarchy Arena Talk Show, we have Mama Metal is finally here joining us on the show. Say hi, Mom.
Hi.
Everyone, make sure you throw some hype up in chat for Mama Metal, as well as sitting over in John the Joker 13's box, the one, the only, the man with a million catchphrases that are all 50 years old. It's Old Metal Barrett is finally here on the Anarchy Arena Talk Show. And sir, I lift my oil can to you.
And annoying.
I think Mallard actually is drinking oil.
It looks like an oil can, but
it kind of does. Yeah.
You may also know him as the Law on AAWF.
Yes.
this is the character model that I use.
Right? John, I have to say, I think you did a good job, right? For everyone who's watched the show, who's seen the law, what do you guys think? Do you think John did a good job with the character model?
Yeah, I basically was like, what would he look like 20 years ago if he like was dedicated to build up bodybuilding and just a little bit taller? All right, that's what we're gonna do. Like,
I think the law's hair is a little bit long for me. But other than that, you know,
that is the shortest hindsight I can get. So,
Right.
So yes, everyone that's in chat, if you want to pose questions to either one of them, ask embarrassing questions about Chris, please do. That's
Please
what's going to
do.
be funny about this.
oh my God, we
Absolutely.
could be here all night with those.
I'm willing to take the shots tonight. We did it with Billy when his mom was on, so we figured, what the hell, we'll do it. And our special guest celebrity picture this week, we have Mr. Brad Pitt down there, is in full World War II regalia, and he is requiring 100 scalps. Now, I'm not going to specify what kind of scalps, not going to specify what film that may or may not be from. If you know what's going on, you're cool. If you don't, then you need to get out and watch some fucking movies. Because that's a good one. But he is
We're gonna
requiring
go outside.
100
Yeah,
scalps.
Right? Just go outside, walk around,
Right.
you'll find somebody.
Right. They'll get it. They'll understand. Both Misty and Donna say that you've done a great job on the law because it looks just like him.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that. Well, if
Thanks, Misty.
well, since we got both of you guys here, I want to ask you guys one question, and I want to ask this
Only one?
only one. I want to prime the pump a little bit.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I don't even know what he's about to ask, which is terrifying right now.
Me too.
Like when you were raising Chris and his brother and stuff like that, how many times did you ever think like, man, I understand why parents kill their young? Like how often was that like a thought in your head?
Yes.
Oh, I can answer that. At least 3 times a week, at minimum.
You during your teenage years, even more.
I can believe
For me.
that.
How many times did I call Dad
Well,
at work on the night shift, evening shift, and say, you better get your ass home because I'm going to kill this boy?
I overheard a few of those conversations, so I know that's true.
Now, that high.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
He's only got 10 fingers and 10 toes. He can't count that high, Mom.
Right.
Count that high. I would use those up in a week time. Okay.
And what is it you told your bosses when you said you had to go home?
I need to go home. Otherwise, I'm going to get home and find my wife standing over the dead body of my oldest child.
Yes. Yes.
Somehow it never happened, and I'm still here.
But what was the reason that I was going to kill you is what I want to know if you remember.
God. There were multiple, I'm sure. I'm trying to think of one in particular.
Usually studying. Usually not doing your homework.
Yeah, I was too busy sitting in front of one of these things, usually.
yeah. I could believe that. I went to college with him. But yeah, that was the one question I want to ask. Mallory, do you have anything you want to ask him while they're here?
I'm sure I'll come up with something eventually.
Right.
Okay. Well,
All I know is that generally when I got home, his ass usually was straightened out by then because he figured I was going to walk in the house and kill him.
yeah.
Okay.
To be fair, everyone, you got to remember that the law is a cop character. The man was a cop. He did come home carrying a firearm on his hip. That was a distinct possibility that I was aware of. That's not to say that my mother couldn't have done it, because believe me, when she gets angry, it's almost scarier than him. If you can imagine that,
Almost?
it's almost scarier than him. It's like we're talking like here. It's like this.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Good to
I've been
know
through
that
it.
I was scary too.
Oh yeah.
I've been with her when she was negotiating prices on stuff, and she scared the fuck out of me.
No. Yes. Yes.
We were buying couches for the new house, and all of a sudden she goes into like fucking bargain mode, and I was
Yep.
like, well, they can't really. And she's like, I was like, fuck, all right, you know what?
You got this. You got this.
You do what you gotta do. Don't hit me.
It was hilarious watching you and our friend Brian just back off and just start dying laughing,
Yep.
beat red in the face when I played my little bargain with
The
the
poor kid-
manager.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, he was an idiot anyway, so he was a coworker of mine. I could say that. I don't know. I know a little work there, but he
That's
was an
okay.
idiot.
I did it when I used to buy a car.
Yeah.
Even the last car we bought, the truck, just a couple of months ago. Dad here left it to me to do the negotiating.
And
Because he knows better.
Because we got a good deal, and I knew whatever I said, I was wrong anyway. So
Right.
just,
No shit, right?
You got a good deal on what?
Honda Ridgeline, 2017 Honda Ridgeline.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a real truck; it's a frou-frou truck. Okay.
He
You
got the
said
other
it.
quarter of the truck cut off so he could afford it.
But he's been wanting that truck for quite a while.
Yeah, it's a frou-frou truck. The thing that's nice about it is you can open up the tailgate in two directions,
Oh, boy.
And-
it's got a cooler built in to the back of the truck with drain plugs. So you can put your beer, you can put your fishing gear, whatever you want in there. It's good to go. Pull the drain plugs. It drains all out. All
And
good.
Trust me, he is proud of that and tells everybody and shows everybody every single time.
That's how he sold this truck to me, and I'm pretty sure that if this truck did not have the drain cap on the bottom to turn the damn thing into a cooler, he'd be like, "No, let me look at another one. I can't put beer in that to go fishing. Let me go look at another one."
Right.
right, like
You go on a fishing. The object is to catch something.
Either a
buzz.
buzz or a fish, whichever comes first.
And
Guys,
to be
if you
honest-
can't tell, I've heard these one-liners before. I'm primed for them.
Yeah, you've heard them for 28 years. Your mom's heard them for even longer than that.
Yes.
It's kind of like hearing the same comedian's tape over and over and over.
It's a loop. It's a loop.
He's got to hit his marks.
I need to hear a new loop.
Damn, I have to get you a book.
I got a new loop, but we ain't talking about that here.
Hey.
Well, it's going to be that kind of show, everybody. Wolf, welcome into the chat. I see you finally were able to make it in, and you can see everything. So I know you've been waiting anxiously and patiently for the show, almost as much
Misty's got a
as
good
everyone else.
question.
Yeah, Misty does have a good question. They want to know the stupidest thing you guys think I've ever done.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh.
This is going to be a long list. I understand that. Try.
The stupidest thing you've ever.
Oh, I know. Actually, you've talked about it. I know.
Which one? Which one?
Well, it was bad enough when cutting the yard with the riding mower.
Oh, Flipper.
Yeah, Flipper.
Flipper.
Put it in the swing set and flip himself over.
Yeah.
Doing that once is bad enough.
Oh my
But when
god.
you do it
Oh,
the second
shit.
time,
So
the same
picture. Yeah, so picture this, okay? It's a swing set. It's got a slide and it's got two swings, and he's riding a riding mower, and it's got the shift handle thingy, whatever you call those things, right?
Shift
And-
handle thing.
And he didn't take the swings and put them up over the bar out of the way so he can ride the mower through
to
and
cut
the
yes.
grass. He left the swings down and it got caught on the shifty thingy.
No, it got caught on the front
Got
lip
caught
of
on
the
the
mower
front
is what
and
happened.
lifted
It
the
got
whole
caught on
okay.
the front lip of the mower as I was driving and
And
lifted the whole
flipped
thing up
the
and
whole
flipped me
thing
over my
over.
back. And yes, I didn't do that just once that summer. I did it twice.
So we
in the
called
same
him
damn summer.
Flipper for a couple of years, yes.
Not only did you guys call me Flipper, but when I went to aviation camp the following summer, in order to get your call sign, you have to tell an embarrassing story.
yes.
So I told that story, and that's what they named me
Yeah.
as well. I was Flipper for the whole
Yeah.
week.
So,
How old was I when I did that?
12?
11, 10,
11, 12?
sometime between 10 and 12, yeah.
Yeah.
So, somewhere in that range.
Yeah. Yeah, that might have been the stupidest thing he did, which was the second time. The first time, okay, you can give it to him, but to do it
the
twice?
stupid thing was doing it the second time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the stupid thing.
on the exact same swing set
Yeah.
and the same swing actually.
In the
Yeah,
same
it's not like the
position,
damn
yeah.
thing moved.
Right.
You would have guessed about 18. No, I did other stupid stuff at that age, Misty.
Oh,
Believe me.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
As all
Um,
teenagers do.
God
People
damn.
gonna die coming
You
home.
got a riding mower? My dad gave me a push mower, and he
Yeah,
said
no
that was-
shit. That's where I was at.
okay, y'all
Yeah.
got to understand is we have damn near an acre, okay? And trying to convince a 10-year-old to push mow a damn near acre just wasn't going to happen.
When we inherited the house, we inherited the riding mower to go along with it. So
I now push it myself. Okay, so the kids are not at home, and it's actually we have an acre and a half, but we only have an acre worth of yard between the house and the garden across the street. So
We had 4 mowable acres, and it started off with a damn push mower. Now I didn't have to do all of it myself.
mhm.
Dad wasn't that cruel to me. But eventually we did get a riding lawnmower, which was a piece of shit. It still took me 4 or 5 hours to get all of that mode. And then the summer that I move out of the house, he gets one of those fancy ass
0
fucking
point turn
zero
things.
turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
Thanks,
God.
Dad.
And
Appreciate it.
and you weren't there anymore. Of course, he got it when
Yeah.
he was going to have to do it.
Right.
No, it was my brother mowing it.
Oh.
What?
Oh
that's
no,
bull-
no, that's fucked up. That's fucked
I'm
up.
the oldest. There's 3 more brothers behind me.
Damn.
Oh, that's
Uh,
bullshit. Yeah.
Now you know he's there at the pecking line.
Right? Get in. Welcome to the show. Glad you're able to make it, buddy. And as far as what hippie shit this is, Mallard is back. He's right down there in the guest spot this week. So welcome him
How
back
do you
stateside.
associate me with hippie shit?
Yeah, I don't know how you associate him with hippie shit. If he moved, there would be things that Twitch would probably banhammer my channel for sitting behind him. So, and the other hippie shit you're seeing is my folks, Old Metal Barrett and Mama Metal, are here, like I've been telling you guys for a couple months now. So, boom, it finally happened. I delivered.
And apparently, Mallard, your facial hair is so becoming. I agree. Makes you look dignified. Or homeless. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, no.
Hey,
Somebody-
I'm going
I don't like that.
I'm going homeless.
No.
You gotta have a new theme song for y'all's branch of the service, right, Mallard?
Oh, do you know?
Yeah, you haven't heard that yet? Off we go. To
Oh,
the
there you
wild
go.
blue yonder, lost again. Son of a bitch!
Oh, hey, it's your boyfriend.
And there we go.
And he's gone.
Uh,
No,
He
he's
took one look at them screens and said, "Oh hell no."
it's a buddy of mine that deployed with me, and when we left, he let go of the lease on his house, so he's crashing at my place until he finds a new one.
Oh, okay, okay. Wolf is so happy for Metal Parents. Hashtag Metal Parents. Throw up some hype in chat, you guys. Thank you all for coming out for this show.
Well,
We really do appreciate it. Keep the questions coming in. We will get to them in between topics here as we go down. We're gonna touch on a few topics that I think the Metal Parents might be able to weigh in on.
Not games.
Gannon up there with my Metal Bat Ferret emote. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. One of my subscribers. Here is one that we can talk about with you guys since this weighs a little bit on you. So it came out earlier this week, ladies and gentlemen, that Disney and Lucasfilm are in fact going to go forward with the Obi-Wan Kenobi solo film, which is set to come out after Episode 9 releases, since they're doing these one-off anthology films. You were getting the Han Solo movie, the Boba Fett movie, and now we find out the last one is going to be an Obi-Wan Kenobi standalone film. And the debate right now is, first of all, Ewan McGregor, who did it in the prequel trilogy, he wants to be back. Like, he very much wants to be that character again. But the debate right now is, do we do super young Obi-Wan? Do we do the Obi-Wan we remember from the prequels? Or do we have somebody take on the mantle of Alec Guinness and see slightly older Obi-Wan right before the events of Episode 4?
please no.
No.
I don't think that's
You
the
don't
direction it's going
No.
to go.
no,
I
you do
would
not
hope
have
not.
Everybody walk in trying to cover Sir Alec Guinness.
Yeah.
That shit just don't happen.
I agree.
I agree.
I-
Yeah, me personally, I would want to see the time between episodes 3 and 4, what the hell Obi-Wan was doing after the fall of the Republic, about 5 years before the events of episode 4 kick off, before he starts aging really, really badly and all that, from living out in the desert and shit.
He was drinking blue milk with sand people. Why the hell we didn't a movie about that?
Yeah, he was on Tatooine making sure nobody kicked Luke's ass. Okay, yeah, that would be boring as hell.
I don't think it's going to be that either.
I'd
Think
like to
about it,
know
though.
the backstory and how he became Obi-Wan Kenobi. You know,
So,
I mean,
that's
so
where I was
his
going.
Jedi training
Yeah,
and everything,
exactly.
and training
That's
under
what I would
Qui-Gon
look-
and Yoda and
yes.
all that.
Once he kind of went under Qui-Gon's tutelage. Now,
Yeah.
the other thing, if you do that, are you going to be able to get
Liam
Liam
Neeson.
Liam Neeson
yeah.
to at least do a cameo?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You know,
I would definitely
think
say
he
that's a
could.
distinct possibility because the animated series that they did, they asked him, like, hey, we'd like to have a Qui-Gon Force Ghost in here. Will you do the voice? And he jumped in. He said, yes. When? Where?
right.
Don't even have to pay me. I'll do it.
No, that's cool.
Uh,
That's cool.
But no, like honestly, like I'd love to see an Obi-Wan movie. I just don't know. Like I want Ewan McGregor to do it because I thought he was out of the entirety of
Yeah.
the cast
Of
of
the prequels?
prequels. He was the best part
Yeah,
of
I
it.
yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Um,
Well, I don't know. Liam did okay.
Liam did okay, but he only had one movie, and it was the fucking horrible movie.
But, okay.
Like,
And what's his name with
Count Dooku.
No, motherfucker.
Jar Jar Binks.
No, the guy he's got it written into every contract he has. He's allowed to curse.
Oh, Samuel Jackson.
Samuel
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jackson.
Mace Windu. Mace Windu was good.
Mace did okay.
Yeah, like
Samuel Jackson did okay, but then again, Samuel Jackson is like, he never really acts. He just plays Samuel Jackson.
Right. The funny thing about that is that there's actually a fan theory been going around, and I don't know how this one works, but that somehow Mace Windu didn't die from the fall out of the High Chancellor's office on Coruscant, that the lightning bolts from the Emperor didn't kill him, that he didn't die, that he's still alive, and even Samuel Jackson said this interview, he's like, I could still be alive, y'all. Y'all motherfuckers just remember that. I'm just telling you. He said this in an interview, and I was like, but you're not. So,
as a cinephile, Sam, you usually die in films. You're
Yeah, no
dead.
shit.
Like,
It's rare that Sam lives through a film, okay?
Right. But no, I'd love to see an Obi-Wan movie with kind of seeing what happens 3 and 4 with Ewan McGregor. Right.
Yes, yes.
I want to see what he was doing on Tatooine, that little desert planet. I think that'd be really cool to actually.
They're gonna have to keep him, but the thing is,
Tatooine
it can't be towards the latter part,
Yeah.
because I'm sorry, that would be like, I don't know, your college band covering like the Rolling Stones, dude. Okay, you don't cover Alec Guinness, okay? You just don't do it.
oh man, you had to bring that up. Wow.
I mean, y'all were good, but damn, no.
We need to
Don't-
revisit
don't
this one here a
fucking
little
lie to
bit.
him that you were awful.
I know.
Like-
Mallard,
Okay.
what's your take on Obi-Wan?
How's that?
I see them doing his early life. If you look at
Yeah.
Obi-Wan in the last 2 of the prequel movies, he's a little bit more grown up, a little bit more mature, but he still has this attitude that, you could see him getting into some shenanigans when he was in the academy.
Right.
So that's what I see them taking this movie, and at the very end, when they actually give him to a master, is when Qui-Gon is going to come in and have his cameo.
Right. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I will say this, that if Qui-Gon Jinn is in the movie, that we really need to see a little bit of why is Qui-Gon much closer to being a Grey than an actual Jedi. I would like to see them touch on that, because Qui-Gon walks that line. He walks that line so hard between Grey Jedi and actual Jedi, and there had to be some breaking point for him that's never shown in the films, and Disney's already said that they're not touching the extended universe. That's not canon to them. So I want it in the film. What was the breaking point that made Qui-Gon Jinn go, you know what? They're not right about everything.
It's probably the same breaking point we're going to see in episode 9, to be honest with you.
I would venture a guess that you're right.
Hi, Ricky. Welcome to the stream, buddy.
What's up, Ricky?
Gannon apparently once saw Ian McGregor's penis.
Oh,
Good on you.
I don't want to know. A part of me wants to know how that happened. The other
No.
part of me doesn't,
No part-
like, at
no
all
part
want to
wants to
know
know,
how
no.
that happened. I'm sure
Listen.
the ladies would love to know.
I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Okay, the only thing she wants, were you using a magnifying glass at the time? Okay, because
Ooh.
then it wouldn't be that,
It was a fisheye lens.
Yeah, really,
Oh, look at that one.
Oh, man.
I apologize, everybody, for Pop there.
Oh, no apologies needed.
Yeah.
He's beside me, and I'm just feeding him shit,
Great.
honestly.
He doesn't need any
Why do you
feeding.
think I put him over there next to John? John's just going to feed him shit for the next little bit.
Great.
And he's going to eat it up.
Because you
What?
didn't want to get slapped in the back of the head if you said something stupid. That's why.
There was that, too.
Yeah, there was that too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, we're going to talk about science now, because, woohoo, I swear to God, the old metal Barrett bitches every time we don't talk about science before the break, because,
Yes, I do.
he's got a bedtime he has to hit.
Yes,
So
he
let's talk
does.
about so
And
let's
his
get-
bedtime was about 45 minutes ago, so the fact that he's awake is a miracle, ladies and gentlemen.
You're assuming that I'm awake. Okay, first of all.
Right now, it's just Foster's and barely paying attention. But yes, the reasons why they're here is because they're coming to see the solar eclipse. We're getting
No, we came to see our son.
Right.
you
Idiot.
can see
You
the
came to
sun.
see
Yeah.
the sun. The sun.
No, I came to see you. He came to see the other son.
Yeah.
Come on, truth be told, dear.
Harold Jr.
Yeah, I came to see the eclipse, and it just so happens it's in the neighborhood, so yeah, I get to see him too.
Right.
I appreciate you, Mom.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. I love
you.
you, babe. Yeah.
So are
But
y'all in the direct path?
So
Yep.
where we are in Tennessee is in one of the more central locations for the path of the eclipse. We're actually on the southern edge of the track.
Well, it's southern edge of totality track.
Yeah, the southern edge of the totality track. So we're going to get, if we stay right here where we're based out of, we're probably going to get about a good minute and 30, minute and 40 seconds of totality, which is going to be really, really cool. I don't think I've ever seen a total. I've seen plenty of partials.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen a total solar eclipse, so this is definitely experience. There's a whole lot of science stuff going on with this. You've got NASA. We talked about this a few weeks ago, guys. NASA's sending 2 jets up to go and follow the track of the eclipse so they can get a full 7 minutes worth of totality to do as much studying as possible.
One is their converted 747 telescope that they have in the top of their 747. But yeah, I mean, it's moving 24,000 miles an hour. You can only keep up with it for so long, you know?
Right.
So
It's not just so much about the eclipse itself, but it's the effect on nature.
Right, because all the scientists are, warning us and letting us know that, you're if you bring your pets out there with you, they're going to freak out about it. The birds are going to kind of freak out about it because it's disrupting the natural course of things. Yeah. Say what?
They'll start singing their twilight or evening songs.
Right.
The birds will.
Roosters will start cawing after the end of totality and all that.
No. We learned in Hawaii years ago, roosters crow all night long, all day long.
It doesn't have to be a daybreak, doesn't have to be a sunset. They will crow anytime. Yeah. Okay.
Because basically a rooster crowing is like, I'm horny, like all the fucking time. It's like
the wind blows.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about actually seeing this. If you have a way to see it, go out and first get real good eclipse glasses, because as we know, people have been selling bullshit ones. I'm just gonna
take my welding hood outside.
Well, I mean, I think that should work. I'm not sure.
I mean, you should get at least a partial over there, I would think.
Oh yeah, we're where I'm at in Texas, we're getting, I want to say 72% coverage.
Okay.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
But yes, make sure if there's a way you can see it, make sure you guys do it, because it literally is a once in a lifetime opportunity to actually see this, like especially where you live.
Right.
Like
if you don't travel a whole lot, then yes, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity because it will not hit this particular track and geographical setup again for another 400 to 500 years. Now, the eclipses do happen on a regular basis, but they happen all over the world. Sometimes they happen over oceans where nobody sees them, except for scientists that get on boats and go to crazy-ass locations to go watch the shit.
Remember, it's celestial mechanics, guys. There is an eclipse every year. It's just a matter of whether or not at some place you can go see it.
But the Earth is flat.
If that were true, then the eclipse would cover the entire Earth when it happened. No.
Well, we're about to find out on Monday, aren't we?
Right.
and don't forget, the Hubble Space Telescope is a death ray, so it's gonna shoot us all down. Yeah, that's another one that's making the rounds.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that one. No.
Is that before or after the vaccines kill us?
No, that's.
I think it's while the vaccines are killing us. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, basically what they're going to do is the vaccines are going to turn us into zombies, and then they're going to use the death ray from the Hubble telescope to kill us all.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want the people to be safe out there. There are already signs out on the highways yesterday, saying don't stop on the shoulders on the highways during the eclipse. So please be safe out there. Make sure you're not using those counterfeit glasses. Yes,
that's a serious danger, because staring directly at the sun for that length of period of time will damage your eyes normally, but during totality, when most of the sun's main star is blocked out and you're only getting the corona, if there happens to be a flare that happens during then, that could do some serious damage as well. So double check wherever you got your glasses that they are up to spec. I know the ones that I ordered, I had to double check with Amazon that they weren't on the recall. So make sure you're doing it safe. Keep yourself safe out there. If you get a chance to watch it, it's going to be an experience of a lifetime.
The glasses block 99.9% of the light.
Correct.
Right.
So you can even take them out now. Not now, obviously. It's at night. But I mean,
damn, it's dark.
I wear sunglasses at night. God damn.
Prior to the eclipse, and you can use them, and you should see it basically blocking all of the sunlight when you look directly at the sun.
Right.
If it doesn't, you might want to go get a different set, okay? Because that could be a problem. It will burn out your retina.
It will.
It will make you permanently blind.
Now, I know around here we're starting to have a shortage of them. Mallard, since you guys are only getting a partial, you having like Rite Aids and stuff selling glasses and whatnot and going in a shortage, or?
I haven't really seen anything around here. I don't think where I'm at in Texas, people would get too excited about shit like that. So,
Yeah,
Well,
they're more worried about getting their deer stand ready for the season, right?
Brother.
yeah.
The next full eclipse that comes across the United States comes across starting in Texas and goes to Maine in 2024.
Oh, really?
Yep,
So y'all get
That's
the next big one.
that's the next one.
If I'm still in Texas.
Yes.
Well, yeah. The probabilities that you're going to stay at that one place for the next 7 years are probably pretty slim, but
Well, I've already been here for 9.
holy crap, really?
Yeah.
Damn. Never mind. I'll take that back. You might do your entire career in one base.
I'm trying to get out.
I swear that's everybody right now in the
Right.
Air Force. But yeah, just catching up with chat here. Ricky saying that roosters are aggravating. Southern Belle-
Can I
Yeah,
tell you
go-
a story about a rooster real quick?
Sure.
When we were, sorry, you behave yourself.
Wow, Mallard, that took you a second.
I'm sorry, I just embarrassed everybody. I'm sorry. When we
Oh, yeah,
were when we were in Hawaii, we were driving from the airport to Kauai, I think it was, and we were going through the city, and this is where we saw our first rooster, and it was standing in front of the drive-up window of a KFC. I think that,
Not the window, at the actual thing where you order your food.
yeah.
This rooster is standing there at the order thing. I'm like, okay, it's either looking for its brother or it's committing suicide. I'm not sure which the hell is going on.
We
Hell,
thought
don't
that
hate
that
on
was
him,
pretty
he
funny.
did a job. But Ricky's saying that roosters are annoying.
Yes,
Southern Belle's saying she has 2 of them and they never shut up.
Right.
As someone who grew up on a farm, I can attest
Yep.
to this. Ricky's saying I'm hitting on conspiracies on Illuminati levels. The Earth is flat. Bob Dylan landed on the moon. The Beatles were aliens. That's scratching the
No,
surface,
it
son.
wasn't the Beatles.
Yeah.
It was Elvis.
It was Elvis.
Okay, Elvis didn't die. He went home.
Oh,
Right.
right.
But-
Gannon's going America, America, which is ironic from the Canadian. Speaking of which, Gannon, I don't know, because my Canadian geography sucks ass. I don't know if you're going to be in the track of the eclipse at all up there. So if you are, hopefully you get out to see it. But
Whereabouts, Gannon? You're in. I'm trying to remember.
He's Alberta. Edmonton. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get hit.
Yeah,
No.
if you're be lucky, Gannon, if you get more than like 10 or 15%, if you're really lucky.
Though I will agree with him, Murray Brown's is better than KFC, but that's not saying much.
you guys are
Well-
getting 3/4 up there. Okay, well, at least you get a bit of a show.
Really?
That's nice.
They're getting 3/4?
I guess it's better than nothing,
Damn.
right?
Okay.
Well, I guess it's really all we had to really say about the solar eclipse. So, do you want to go into Valve, Chris, real quick? Or
We can touch on Valve here real quick. So
Wait a second. One more thing on the solar eclipse.
oh, go ahead.
okay,
Guys, if you are in a totality region, you can see it. Look for
oh yeah,
this and Mercury. This will be one of the few times that you will actually be able to see Mercury.
Really?
Because normally it's caught up in the glare of the sun. You never get a chance to see it unless it's at perihelion, which is when it's at its furthest point from the sun. You might get maybe 5 or 10 minutes prior to sunset or prior to sunrise. This will be an opportunity to actually see it with the naked eye, which is very, very unusual. You don't get to do that very often.
And this is what a lifetime of being a Trekkie does to you.
No,
Yeah.
That
no.
working in a planetarium for 12 years.
Exactly.
yeah. There's that. Also, if we're really lucky, and also like I mentioned before, watch your eyes if this happens. But because the moon will be blocking the main part of the star, if there are any solar flares or any ejectia happening during the eclipse, that would be one of the few times we'd be able to see it, which would be an absolutely amazing phenomenon. Ricky, why are my parents more interesting than me? That's a good question.
It's Because we is.
Yeah.
Don't question it. We is.
Put a picture of what solar eclipse is supposed to look like in Discord. So if you guys are part of the Discord, if you're not, click the link right underneath Chris's channel. You'll see what a solar eclipse is supposed to look like. Hopefully, he didn't just post the lost fucking logo. I wouldn't have. It is pretty simple.
Look at a light. Put your fist up between that and the light, and you notice you see the outline of the light around your fist. There you go.
Yeah. Solar eclipse right there. You did it in your house. You don't even have to go outside now.
Okay.
Fuck, I don't have to go outside now.
Yep.
Great.
Solar eclipse simulator 2017.
That's the whole Corona thing you don't get with the
Damn,
still,
all right.
You know?
Guess you got a point there.
I had somebody work the other day say, "What do I do if I didn't get glasses in time?" I said, "Watch it on TV."
Watch it on TV. Make a pinhole camera.
Yeah.
You don't even need to make a pinhole camera. You can take a colander outside and turn your back to it, and the colander will actually project it. Okay? You can do the same thing if you have oak trees.
Why the hell do you know that?
Notice that if you go, you always ask that question, and because I
Random shit that you know.
I know lots of random shit. It's a fact of life. Okay?
Yes.
Damn
I
it.
saw somebody had made a suggestion of
I don't
taking your
know.
phone and turning the front-facing camera on.
You
but
gotta watch that. You can burn out the phone.
Yep.
If you do that, you need to have the glasses over the camera also.
Yeah, we heard that. Mhm.
Yeah. Even if you do it front facing and turn around and do it that way, it can still burn out the optics on the camera.
So yes, you could watch it that way, but your phone's going to be dead by the end of it.
Right. Because the pictures that you guys saw that Chris posted are, of the trip to Alaska, our cousin that took a lot of the pictures, she had to buy, she's got a really nice 35 millimeter camera. She had to buy a special lens to protect her camera to do this.
Because all the snow blindness and stuff like that.
Right.
Gannon asked, "What is your favorite memory of Chris?"
Favorite memory? Oh my goodness.
Has he made one of those yet?
Probably
know,
not. I highly doubt it.
The easier question is like, what's the most embarrassing one? Like, you know, what's the stupidest thing he's done? Yeah.
Well, no, we already answered
We
that.
already
answered
answered that
that.
one, right?
Yeah.
No, but what's your favorite memory of Chris?
Favorite memory. Oh, I told this story to the girls downstairs a couple hours ago when he was about 3 years old. He would take books off a shelf, and I told him not to do that. And he kept doing it, and I smacked his hand. And he said, "That doesn't hurt. That doesn't hurt." And I just kept smacking his hand. "That didn't hurt." Or was that the other child?
That was Josh that
That
did
was
that.
Josh?
That was Josh because you smacked
Okay.
his hand, and the last time he goes, that.
Yeah, that was
that
his
hurt.
brother. That was his brother. But this one, he did take books off the shelf, and I made him put him back up. And he told me he hated me. My oldest son said he hated me. He never wanted to talk to me again at 3 years old. So there's a memory, but I don't know if that's a favorite memory.
Wow, that's your favorite memory? That's
No,
so
I just
telling
said-
of our relationship.
I
Oh,
just
thanks.
said it's a memory. I just said I'm not sure it's a favorite memory.
No, my favorite memory, about the same age, my mom.
Oh,
one
yeah.
of her
Oh
favorite
yeah,
was
yes,
shit. And
yeah.
so she said the word shit, and my
It was her
wonderful wife,
favorite
I think,
word. Mhm.
looked at her and said, "Mom, you got to stop that. Chris is going to start saying it, right?"
Yep.
So Mom starts to walk away. Chris is walking behind her with his hands behind his back, going shit, 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 shit.
As I am lecturing his mother not to say it, this child is behind me saying shit, 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 shit. I say, "Mom, what are you laughing at?" And she points to him, and I'm like, "Oh, great. See, I told you."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
He also wants to know what my favorite memory of you guys is. So I can't pinpoint to one, but I can generalize.
Uh-oh.
So we have this group of friends that my parents all knew during their college days and whatnot. And when I was younger, we would get together about once every 3 months.
That's right.
All the adults and all the kids. And basically, we were shoved in somebody's basement or spare bedroom and put a movie on while they got roaring drunk until 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, or 5 a.m.
Or 5 a.m. It depends on what year you're talking about, really.
Depends on how old we were. As
Right.
we got older, the hour came earlier and earlier.
So two things about that is, A, at whatever age we were, from the time we were 5 to all the way up into our teens, is putting our ears to the floor and listening, and judging by how pitched the women's laughs got, we could tell how drunk they were. And then the dichotomy reversing when we got older, we started drinking with them. We're the ones staying up cackling till 2 o'clock in the morning. They're in bed by 9:30.
Yep.
It never was 9:30.
Excuse me, 9:45 and a half.
Hey, Nightline comes on at 10. Jesus. God damn it, you gotta have some priorities, right?
Yeah. Christopher is the oldest of that group of friends, the children. So he's been doing it since he was about a year or 2 years old. And so we were 6 adults, and then we started with Chris, and then we ended up with like 7, 8 kids. And so the kids outnumbered us at some point. So we were kind of afraid that the kids were going to take over at some point. So, but no, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like they did. We were originally going to start talking about Valve, Chris. But
Yeah, but someone asked a question and we answered. That's what we're going to do tonight while the people are here. I'm not sure.
Mother of the Year, thank you.
but yeah, Mother of the Year, exactly.
Yeah,
Man, memory. I hope that they're asking about them and not you involved.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you may get your conception story told tonight.
That ain't happening.
They haven't. Damn.
Most romantic memory, if you're asking from us, what is our most romantic memory? Well, it's not with him. No, yeah. What's your most romantic memory of me, dear?
There is no right answer to this test.
Exactly.
So what I say, I'm SOL, and I know that. I completely understand the concept. I'm not going to do well in
Your
this.
wedding day.
No, actually,
No. You tell him why.
Our wedding day, she has a vague memory of, because she had knee surgery
10 days
about
before.
10 days before, and she was on pain medication for the knee surgery, and then her and her maid of honor decided that they were going to drink champagne. So she did not,
go well together.
she did not walk down the aisle. She floated.
Yeah, no. I had 1 Percocet and 1 glass of champagne, okay?
Look, I'm telling you.
Alcohol and pain pills don't really go very well.
No, but to answer your question, I think the most romantic thing he did is when we weren't even married. I think we were engaged, and I was still in nursing school, and he apparently showed up while I was at school. I came out and I found a box of long stem roses on my car. And yeah, so it was very sweet. I haven't seen flowers in the house since. Thank you.
Because you keep telling me, why do you do that? They die when I bring them home. So
I'm practical that way. Yeah.
It's like, well, every time I bring them in, they die within a week. So why the hell am I wasting the money on it?
Right.
Because you're nice. You know?
Well,
I was hiding in
He was hiding in a tree
in the parking lot, waiting for her to come out. I was hiding up in a tree, knowing that humans don't look up. So I was hiding up in a tree, watching her as she was coming out and seeing it. And all of her friends were like, "Oh, that's so cute!"
Yes.
Because the hiding up in the tree part is not creepy at all, folks. Not creepy whatsoever.
Yeah. No. So that's the most romantic thing, and probably the last romantic thing.
And, those bus tires feel good. Thanks, dear.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
In fairness, guys, you got to give him some credit. Romantically, I don't know how well he fares now. This is also the same guy that wanted to wear camo tuxedos to his brother's wedding just to freak out his new sister-in-law.
That was Uncle Tommy's doing. He was the one who said we were going to wear camo to the wedding.
And so you instigated even more. You encouraged that.
Yeah.
Mallard, I think we both are part of this group. We've actually been to a wedding where that shit happened. Yep. It was Mallard's wedding.
No, I wasn't wearing camo, but I did have my good boots on, and I was carrying a weapon.
What the hell are y'all laughing at?
That's a fine
I don't think that's a fine thing to do. Matter of fact,
all of my groomsmen were too.
Coming from West Virginia with the male part of or male side of my family, weddings where guns were there were not an uncommon thing. Of course,
That's
it was
true.
usually the papa with a shotgun.
Right.
Okay.
You gonna make this right?
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
I'll do the right thing, boy. You understand that, don't you?
Yes, sir, I do. Anyways,
Oh,
Valve.
man.
That's about Valve.
Gannon says, if you're wearing camo, how would they even see that you were at the wedding?
Yeah, okay.
That's why you get an annulment. I wasn't even there.
Right.
I was in disguise.
I was there. You can't see me, can you?
You have to do like a grease
Well,
paint
yeah, you
too.
gotta- yeah.
Yeah, of course. Ricky, it's no problem. We appreciate you being able to pop in for the time that you did. Go and enjoy your D&D campaign. Good luck, and we will see you on the D&D show next Sunday.
That's right. Next Sunday is going to be the next episode of Surprise Attack, or at this point, I think we should call it Nutsack and Friends.
Yeah, we really should. So let's explain why we're gonna call the game Nutsack and Friends, John. Let's segue into that. Let's let everyone know what happened last week on the very first episode of the D&D show called Surprise Attack.
So, obviously, I do a D&D show on my channel, John Joker 13. We're doing it every other Sunday. And these guys they were in a town that got attacked by a goblin fire brigade, basically. And not the type of fire brigade that puts out fires, no, they're the ones that start some bitches.
Goblin for you.
It's the damn goblins, right? Anyways, they knocked one out, and they were about to interrogate him. But of course, the thief, aka Risen Again 34, decided he was going to pickpocket him, and he critically failed on his skill check. And because I'm an
Well, hang on a second, guys.
I was like,
You're good now. You froze for a second, but you're
Yep,
back.
you froze for a second, so why don't you back up there a couple seconds, bud?
okay, sorry. So, Risen Again 34, as the thief, was trying to, make a pickpocket check, critically failed his pickpocket check and got a handful of goblin nuts.
Oh my.
And then, and then was,
Oh my.
then was
That's
introduced.
George Takei would say.
Yes. And then was introduced to Nutsack the Goblin. And now apparently that's the mascot of the campaign.
Yep. Not only did
It's gonna be based off of is
Right,
Nutsack
the Goblin. I like
right.
it. Yeah.
So not only did we have that incident with Nutsack, but then Nutsack led us to his band of goblins that we attempted to go and destroy, and then got into a conversation with the other goblins about why they couldn't think for themselves and why they kept listening to their leader. So Nutsack started a goblin rebellion / union and has a small horde of goblins following him and started the Goblin Liberation Front. So yeah, they're a goblin union in our D&D campaign after day one.
They do what they want with it. I just roll dice every once in a while.
Well, I'm going to have to tell Uncle Greg to look up this because he will love it. Yeah.
Oh, he probably will.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I would appreciate everybody if you enjoy this talk show. We do it every other week. The talk show is going to be one week, and then the D&D show is going to be another. Never the two shall be on the same week. So say it. So it is said. So shall it be written. But
Wow, you had to go
sure,
ethnic there. You had to go ethnic.
motherfucker. It was Charlton has the Jew in that one. I don't think it's really going that ethnic. All right?
He has a point.
Anyway,
Yulebrenner, not so much.
yeah. Anyways, it will be on my channel every other Sunday. Make sure to follow me on there if you are interested in that. It's generally a fun fucking time, as we try to do every week. But yes, that was the D&D campaign. That's the story of Nutsack.
Yes, Gannon. And what's the problem with nerds?
Dude,
Chillax, dude.
we're running
Okay.
the world now, okay, man? You see how much money the big guys on Twitch are making? Nerds are kind of running the shit, so...
Blessed are the geek.
Yes.
Just remember, you may treat him like an asshole when you were in high school. You're probably going to be working for him one day.
Right.
True. Very
Good evening there, Fam Axel. How nice to have you here, Griff.
Fam, nice of you to pop in. Mallard is here, as well as the Metal Parents, and Fam's girlfriend is joining him tonight, so... Hello, Fam's girlfriend. Obviously,
Hey,
you
Fam's
have brain
girlfriend.
damage because you're dating him, so you should probably seek medical attention.
No room to
whoa,
speak, good
dude,
sir.
Really? Okay.
I was waiting for you to do it, so...
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Nerds are
Wow.
better than hippies. I agree with that statement. So anyways, Valve apparently is restricting issuing Steam keys, but only in extreme examples. What the fuck do they mean by that, Chris?
Okay, so here's the deal. They're seeing a lot of these companies that are developing games are requesting a massive amount of Steam keys for their product. In exchange for putting their product on the service, they're getting a massive amount of Steam keys. And Steam used to just ipso facto go, okay, yeah, that's fine. Here's the 500,000 keys that you requested for your game. No big deal. And then these developers have been handing them out willy-nilly, basically driving down the value of products on Steam. Well, now Valve is taking a closer look at that, and they're saying, hey, not so much. See, if your game sells for like $1.99 and you've got 20 people that bought it, yeah, we're not giving you 500,000 Steam keys. I'm sorry. There's no reason you're not going to have 500,000 people buy your game. So we're going to start vetting this a little bit more. They're going to look at it based on what your game does, their sales, their costs, and everything like that, and figure out a fair number of keys that you should be given for your game to give out. Honestly, I think this is kind of smart on their part. It's actually really smart on their part. Fam, I thought you were... Yes, you are. Okay, Fam, thanks for popping in for just a second. We appreciate you, buddy. Gannon, I do appreciate the Metal Barrett emote there in chat. You can get that emote, by the way, by subbing to the Metal Barrett channel.
Question.
Answer.
Oh.
Did they... Maybe this was more of a strategic move than you think.
Okay, explain.
Because by giving out all these keys, people got used to Steam being, something that they wanted, something that they could do things with. And now they start restricting a little bit, and people are like, I really liked having that. Maybe I'll pay for it.
Right.
And they can get people to start
You
paying
think this is a way for Steam to start bringing in a paywall to the service?
I'm wondering, because it would be, think about it as a business model. It's kind of like if you're the local dope dealer, right? Give it out for free at first and then charge them later. Right?
Get them hooked.
I mean, I guess so.
Get them hooked.
In fairness, I'm not sure Valve needs to resort to that tactic. They've got more money than they know what the fuck to do with.
I was about to say, if
Those
you're
people that got
PC,
more money always want more than they got.
right?
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, like, Valve is pretty much the pimp daddy of the PC gaming market. Like, everybody pays them out. To be honest with you, I think what they're doing with this is a good idea because Valve needs to do some type of vetting process. They need to do some type of, I'm not going to say censorship, but definitely a quality assurance. They need to do a lot more QA.
You're doing that yawning shit, boy.
Yeah, I know.
They need to do some type of quality assurance on Steam, and they started doing that when they killed Greenlight, which I know a lot of people didn't like, but I personally was a huge fan of them killing Greenlight. I thought that Greenlight just meant shovelware came out left and right, basically, the same game with a different title.
Right.
To be honestly, I kind of like this idea. I think that just throwing away keys for $2 games, one, kind of pisses on the Humble Bundle, because I think that's what happened to a lot of them, is that they would just give keys to the Humble Bundle, and then, whatever people pay for that, they get, the one game they actually want, and then, 30 games are absolute crap. So I can kind of understand where they're coming from with that. To me, honestly, Steam keys, it's a good idea, and I think they're going down the right path with this. I just don't know. I think people are just doing a little bit too much doomsaying, to be honest with you. If people are upset about this, I think they're just looking for something to be angry at Valve at.
You're probably
what do you
right.
think?
Yeah, Mallard, what's
Mallard?
your thoughts?
I really don't know a whole hell of a lot about how Steam keys work. I don't know why it's a big deal. I mean, I kind of see a little bit, they're limiting developers into handing out free games, but why? Who's losing money here, the developers or Steam?
Well,
Well,
Steam's claiming that they're losing money because it costs them, because they're not getting the return revenue from someone having purchased the game as opposed to getting a free key. So it's saying it's costing them money to give out these hundreds of thousands of keys for these games that aren't selling to the point where they're going to make a profit off of it.
They're losing money that they wouldn't have had to begin with.
Basically, yeah, that's kind of
Okay.
what they're saying. And in fairness, Valve is a business and a successful one, so it's a business strategy, and I can see it from that standpoint.
By the way,
So this little developer that has a $1.99 game that he wants to put on Steam, I'll keep my opinions to myself.
to me, that just seems like, to be honest, you're selling your dollar for $1.99. You could probably sell that shit on like Congregate or one of those flash sites and like just have a download link for it, or hell, just set up a Twitter for your fucking game or something like that. Like, there's other options than trying to sell your piece of crap $2 game, and usually they are piece of crap $2 games.
Usually, yeah.
But Steam also has, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you guys certainly know a hell of a lot more about this than I do. Steam also has some very high-end games.
Yeah.
So if I'm a new developer and I want people to see my games, I want to get it someplace where people that play a lot of high-end games are, to take a look at what I've done.
Right.
Maybe they like it, and then they can get me money where I can develop it better. Does that make sense?
I mean, it makes sense,
Okay.
like from our standpoint, but Valve just is like, we're making money hand over fist, just
Right.
selling that.
These are the guys that have been successful at slowly killing GameStop, and putting them out of business.
They're about to, actually.
Yeah, actually, most of the GameStops are about to close their doors because they can't compete. They can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's like,
That makes sense.
real stores that like carry inventory and stuff can't compete against Amazon for the same freaking reason.
Well, it was that and customer service. If you have shitty customer service and you're a brick and mortar store, you're dying. You're just flat out.
That's true.
Because I would much rather go and order it off the computer and not have to deal with the idiot behind the register who wants to be a dick because he makes $7 an hour.
Yeah, see, that's where y'all are much different. I would rather deal with people. So I don't even like when
but
we
you
go
don't
to the
like
grocery store.
No, he doesn't.
People are.
My entire life, if there is one saying I can remember throughout my entire life, it's this. From your mouth, people as a general rule suck.
Yeah.
And now you're going to sit here and tell me that people are you getting soft in your old age, man?
People are like assholes.
Everyone's got one and they all stink.
They all stink, that's right.
Right.
Okay. But the thing is that it depends. I think it depends on who you are. Me personally, and your mom can attest to this, we go to the grocery store. I want to go through the line with the person that works at the grocery store as opposed to going through the self-checkout.
I self-checkout.
Yeah.
I want to go. I don't want one of the little swipey things that you swipe all your stuff.
Oh, he hates it when I get that.
Okay.
The only time I go to the self-checkout is if I'm buying stuff that I don't want the cashier to judge me on.
Right.
Like large quantities of booze and chocolate ice cream and a rom-com.
No, I'll go through the line with that. That's no big deal.
Here's a pro tip. If you think you're going to be embarrassed by buying something, get a birthday card.
There you go.
I'm just saying, if you think you're going to be embarrassed with something you're going to buy, get a birthday card, and then they're just going to go, "Oh, you're not the freak, your friend is."
Or if you always can get an anniversary card saying "to my wife" when you do it, especially if the wife shops at the same place.
I don't think that really works with tires, or booze, or condoms. Well, actually, it kind of works with condoms.
Yeah, right.
Hi, Mama Barrett.
No worries, John.
But
sleep with one eye open, boy. I'm telling you. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm married. I already do that. Kind of going into chat here real quick. Again, saying it's all about digital downloads. I think everybody is at this point. I like people too, but I don't like leaving my couch. Yep. Depends on how much stuff you have. I agree with that 100%. Like, I usually go self-checkout because if I'm buying one or two things, to hell with it. I don't need to go wait in a line. But if it's like, if I'm doing my weekly grocery run, we need to have somebody talking to me for 5 minutes, Well,
I also like to bag my own groceries because I don't think that they teach the baggers how to bag properly anymore.
They do. It's just the baggers don't give a shit.
No.
Yeah.
I'm a cashier. I personally give a shit when I bag because I would be angry if my eggs were in the same damn bag as my pasta sauce in a can. You know, like.
Well, I don't want it in the same bag with my bleach. You know.
Right. But most of the time, like.
Why? You don't want your eggs bleached?
No, I don't.
Damn.
That's how you get egg whites.
That's right. That's how you get egg whites. Right?
I think that's vinegar, but okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, my father, you asked for it, he's here. Are you regretting it yet?
I'm sorry.
Teach bagger to bag properly. I didn't know they ever taught that. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
There is a process to it.
Yes.
You build on the outside all the stuff you can't crush, and then you fill it in the middle. It's not that damn hard. It's still a process.
Yeah,
It's common sense. And what do you say about common sense, dear?
Got to remember, there's a reason the phrase common sense exists, because it isn't.
Yeah.
That's true.
If common sense were common, that phrase would not exist. Fact of life.
It's like don't use a hairdryer while in the shower.
Right.
They had to put that tag on there for a reason.
Someone only did it once.
That's right.
Favorite one is the lawnmower.
Yes.
Not used as a hedge trimmer.
Yeah.
Because a guy bought a lawnmower, actually used it as a hedge trimmer, got his eye put out, and sued the lawnmower company. Well, there was nothing that said that I couldn't use it like that.
So now now we have disclaimers.
I have seen someone do that once.
You also grew up in BFE, Tennessee, so that doesn't surprise me.
You know, hell, he ain't got no money for a hedge trimmer.
Which is now why McDonald's has the word hot on their coffee cups, because somebody spilled it and complained.
Actually, no, that's not how that story goes, but I'll explain that tomorrow. That's actually not how that case went.
Yeah.
Okay.
I read that article too. It
Yeah.
was interesting.
Yeah, it was very interesting. That's not how that court case went at all, but we'll get into that tomorrow.
We have a side discussion over here y'all got to help me out with. Okay.
And
What the hell do you need a hedge trimmer for pot plants for if you grew up in BFE, Tennessee?
Well, I mean, it's a lot quicker to harvest with a hedge trimmer than it is with your bare hands, and you can't ask the 3-year-old to do it because then he'd have to put down his Bud Light and his cigarette and get away from his cartoons for 5 minutes. And his dip. Yeah, he's smoking a cigarette with a dip in his mouth
And remember, you live here now.
while doing meth.
No, he does not live here while doing meth, dear. That's
No.
I don't live in the meth head.
Thank you.
We are just north of meth country, for the record, though.
I'm proud.
Yes.
I'm proud.
Blizzard renaming BattleNet from Blizzard to Blizzard
So
Battle. What?
I know.
What?
So I read this story, and this just fucking blew my mind. So Blizzard a few months ago changed their service from Battle.net, which it's been for years, and everyone knows it as Battle.net or
Been like
Battle.net or
20
whatever you choose to
years.
call
Yeah.
it. Right.
So
They changed it. Right. They changed it to just Blizzard. And everyone was like, okay, I mean, we're still going to call it Battle.net, but whatever. That's weird. Why'd you do that? And apparently Blizzard went, oh, that was kind of dumb because everyone liked our old shit. So I got it. We're going to change the name again. We're going to call it Blizzard Battle.net because that's not a mouthful. It's literally a marketing thing just to try and bring people back who didn't like the change from Battle.net to Blizzard. They're bringing back the Battle.net.
I'm sorry, but if you're on BattleNet or Blizzard app, you're playing WoW,
Overwatch.
or Diablo 3. You could call it like, you know,
And don't
fucking
forget StarCraft.
and StarCraft. I'm sorry, and StarCraft. If you're playing those games, you don't give a fuck what that app's called. You're just like, give me an Overwatch. Give me an Overwatch. I don't care
Right.
anymore. like,
Let me take a guess. Every time the marketing guy walks into a room, you hear the song say, I'm a dumbass and I'm okay. Okay.
Actually, he starts
Wow.
whistling. He actually starts whistling if I only had a brain.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm sorry. Dad's jokes have now transferred to John.
Oh,
I'm sorry for your wife. Just like
It's
a
okay.
lot of people are sorry for me.
it's okay. Occasionally, I'll come out with the dumb shit. And also, Heroes of the Storm. People that like nobody gives a shit what your damn launcher is called. Like I barely even like look at Steam and see what it's actually named.
Right. I mean, you could call your launcher shit on a sandwich, and I'd still open it to get to my games. I don't care what the name is.
Do I have to
We
open-
can you don't need to be opening a sandwich with shit on it. Okay, I'm telling you right now. No.
Hey, you know what? If it was a clever animation emoji when my launcher opened up to get to my games, I'd probably get a launcher called shit on a sandwich just to watch the clever emoji.
How many times did you make that mistake as a kid?
Apparently, one more than I knew about. Okay?
There's something we were missing in his childhood.
Those weren't mud pies.
Send you to school, buy your books, you eat the pages, sniff the glue. What's wrong with you, boy?
Hey, the glue smelled good, man. Okay? God. Leave a brother alone. Shit.
Well, since it's kind of the end of games, do you guys want to talk about the games you've been playing this week? You guys been playing anything new? Because I've got 2 I've played recently that are brand new-ish.
Well, Mallard, you been playing anything new since you got back stateside?
Oh, nothing new. I got back into Rust again and had to relearn a bunch of shit.
Oh, they do an overhaul of Rust?
I wouldn't call it an overhaul. They just changed some things again.
Well, did they make it unplayable like a certain MOBA that everyone told me I should be playing and then told me that it sucked again? Like Paragon?
Hey, you know what? You leave Paragon alone, okay? Paragon got new
I
card
forgot about
system.
that one.
Yeah, Paragon got a new card system that makes it more competition style, and it's a little weird to get used to.
A little weird to get used to.
That might be the perfect time for me to get into it then.
Well, here's the thing.
Since I'm not used to anything on there yet.
Here's the thing. Every class of character plays exactly the same way. The hunters are going to be shooting like a fucking machine gun turret. The mages are just going to have crazy cooldowns. Like, there's no difference between characters anymore. There is no tier list because everyone is the same.
Because when you make kills now, you get gold and you can pump up 1 of 3 attributes. So obviously, the mages are going to pump up mana regen. Your attack guys are going to pump everything into attack speed and damage. So it's kind of skewed real heavily. It's not a perfect system yet. They're still working on it. That's why the game's still in beta.
Yeah, I kind of
That's probably why Rust is still in alpha.
Is Rust still technically an alpha?
Yeah, it is. It's far from perfect.
That game's been out for how long?
Well, it hasn't actually officially been out.
Okay, the game's been
It's
out
been
for how long?
Okay.
Chris, this is the reason why when you say, "Oh, PUBG's eventually going to release," I'm like, "Sure."
Hey, you said Ark would never release, and it's releasing at the end of the month. So
Good, and I hope that everyone that pays $60 for that fucking game feels like they get ripped off.
Hey, I don't have to pay $60 for it. I already bought it, and now with the new update that dropped today, I'll be able to tame snakes because that's a thing I never knew I wanted to do. That now I totally want to do. I can tame giant Titan boas.
Was it? We're talking about even like the little snakes were assholes on that game, right?
Well,
so now you're going to be able to tame a Titanoboa.
Yep. Which is good for 2 things because A, they knock shit out, and B, their eggs make kibble that I can tame Tyrannosaurs with. So that's cool.
But I've been
Maybe you can use the Titanoboa to tame the Tyrannosaur. What do you think?
I mean, I'm game.
You can squeeze dog piss out of you.
Just ride snakes in a battle. Just battle snakes.
Right.
Going after T-Rexes. Battle snakes, everybody. We're going to do it. Battle snakes.
Battle Snakes is also the name of my favorite '90s action figure line.
TMI, man. I'm telling you, TMI. Okay.
But this week I've been playing the new Batman. The new Batman Telltale series game, and I've been playing Observer. First off, the Batman Telltale series game. Make sure you play season 1, or you'll be really lost in the dark. Season 2 starts off with a bang. I'm not going to ruin anything. All I'm going to say is it's a really good start. But honestly, that's not the best game I played this week. The best game I played was Observer. I want to ask the group here. I assume you guys have seen Blade Runner, right?
The original, yes.
Yes, the original. No? Okay. So if I say something like, excluding Mama Barrett, unfortunately, if I say like Cyberpunk, you guys kind of understand where I'm heading with that,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Imagine a Cyberpunk game, but it was directed by David Cronenberg. So everything's got weird tentacles and like really slithery, but it's all like based in your augmentations and your implants and stuff like that. And you're trying to figure out who's actually like it's like some government like a co-government corporation conspiracy, and you're slowly starting to unravel that. And the way you the way you the way you interrogate people is you basically get like a aux cable and jack into the back of their augmentation, and then you basically go on the world's worst acid trip where you're seeing everything from their really fragmented perspective. That game is absolutely beautiful to look at, and it is terrifying. I would highly recommend it.
Interesting. I didn't get a chance to watch the stream, obviously, because you play it when I go to bed. But the idea of it sounded really, really cool.
Concept, but yeah, wow, if the graphics aren't absolutely amazing, it's gonna be a POS. But if the graphics are really cool, then
it runs really smooth on my rig. But the thing about it is like it kind of has that Aliens Blade Runner like technology. So everything's in CRT screens and everything's in sectors and stuff like that. It's really fucking cool. If you're a fan of Blade Runner or Alien or any game like that, get it. It's $30. It's totally worth it. I've played about 2 hours of it, and I'm absolutely enthralled. I cannot wait to play it again.
Listen, I don't know about the game part. The movies, yes, but the games I haven't done. So I may have to watch that. It's
a really, really good fucking game. I cannot praise it enough. It's only $30, and it's made by the same guys who did Layers of Fear and Fahrenheit and stuff like that. So if you like those type of games, definitely give it a check out.
You had to look there for a second at Fahrenheit, Dad. What was that?
As in the book Fahrenheit 451?
No.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
I was on the same thought train you were.
Okay, thank you.
Indigo Prophecy is the other name for it, if you know about that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. They're the same guys who made Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Oh, okay, word.
Hey, the last game he played was Hogs of War. Okay,
and
so
that's your point.
And he's still playing it on whoever's PlayStation 2 is still working.
right.
Anytime Uncle Mark, Uncle Doug, and I get together, you got that shit right, yes.
Is it Zelda good? Yes, I would say so. I think it's a good story. I wouldn't say that it's like mechanically good, because it's really not. But if you're into good stories and stuff like that, I think it's totally worth the buy. So for me, it gets a big thumbs up.
All right.
But yeah, I guess that's all we really have for games. So games and science are done.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of a short show this week, guys. We've got a couple more things to go over and whatnot.
Is there any music news?
Any music news?
I actually don't have anything for music news this week, surprisingly. Not a whole lot of albums dropping right now. Thankfully, nobody else has friggin' died.
There's like a first for this year, right?
Right. Seriously? The only thing I will say is you've got people coming out and bashing these artists who committed suicide, and in one sense, I can be like, okay, look, I get it. You're PO'd at them. They didn't take the right way out. I see where you're coming from. But on the other side of that, you're not them. You don't know what's going on in the background. You don't know what potential medical disorders and neural disorders they may have. You have zero right to bash on them. You are not them. You don't know what's going on. You can make assumptions, you can make assertions, but you don't know. So if you want to bash them, do it in the privacy of your own fucking head. Leave that shit off the internet, okay? You know, lots of people were affected by the deaths of both Chester Bennington and Chris Cornell. Matter of fact, there was a lot of copycat suicides after Chester Bennington because these kids felt so horrible that their icon died and they didn't know why. And these are the same kids that are reading the articles of you, another rock star, bashing this dead rock star for having committed suicide. And they're picking up on it and probably had something to do with them offing themselves as well. So you're creating a problem here. You're not helping the problem. You're creating more of a problem. And the rest of us that enjoy the music community don't appreciate it. Please knock it off. Keep the comments to yourself. Okay? You're allowed to have your opinion. That's fine. I'm not going to tell you not to have your opinion. Keep it to yourself because people are dying because of it. It's not right.
Right.
I didn't mean to get on a soapbox there for a second, but...
No, it needed to be said.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon to see suicides run in strings like that.
Right.
That's why they always worry about it in high school settings or
Military.
settings with kids, because they will have a tendency to do it. And you've got to break that string, and calling the person out and talking bad about the person who committed suicide never ever ever breaks the string.
No.
What breaks the string is explaining to those people that they used a permanent solution
to a temporary
problem.
Yep.
And let them understand that regardless of what the problem is, it is temporary. The only constant in life is change. Okay? So whatever is terrible right now, that's going to change. Okay? So don't use a solution that limits what those changes can be.
If you've got somebody who is showing signs of depression or something like that, talk to them. Let them talk to you as well. They're probably feeling like they're not being heard.
As someone who is battling, depression a little bit, I haven't been diagnosed, but it runs in the family, and I've had some bad moments. That's one of the best things you can do is just be somebody who's there. And as old Mel Barrett said, he put it perfectly. It's a permanent solution to temporary problems. It's a suicide and stuff like that does not help you, and it hurts the people around you more than anything else, because the moment that happens, the first thing people think, because I've been in that situation, is, well, what did I do something wrong? What the fuck could I have done to prevent that? And there is no answer to that, because the person who did it is no longer there.
Right.
And it fucks with
you. So stand by that person.
Yeah.
Be a friend.
Gannon, I want to thank you for your last comment there in chat. I am really lucky. I did have badass fucking parents. I did manage to get lucky. So thank you for recognizing that.
Gannon, you need to work on your taste, brother. I'm just saying,
I mean, he watches my stream willingly, so his taste is already in question.
This is true. Good point. Okay.
But to bring us up on a little bit of a more happy note.
Yes, please.
Gannon was in my Tekken stream, and he did introduce me to a couple of new kind of pop punky bands. Make sure you guys check out the Bomb Pops. They're really fucking good. And what was the other one? God,
is that the video that you put up in the Discord? 20-something skater kid. Because I listened to that. But I listened to that one. I actually liked that one. That was like some serious, like straight up late '90s, early 2000s pop punk.
No, that shit was really good.
Never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
Not everything can be funk or country. I'm sorry, Dad.
Dude, I'm telling you, if it was written after 1982, done. Okay.
and the other band was PQ. So I have to ask you guys.
PQ, what?
Like PKEW. Is that lasers?
Pew.
Or is that guns?
Okay, say it again.
PQ. PKEW.
I'm gonna say
it ain't
guns.
I'm about to say it ain't no damn gun I ever heard.
I mean, unless you're talking about like the old westerns, like the black and white westerns, that's kind of what the guns sounded like.
Yeah, where they didn't even actually ever shoot guns. But
right.
Yeah, okay, fine.
That's what I was thinking.
They made sounds in the sound stage that they thought might sound like a gun at a distance, which it didn't. Yeah.
So, like, laser gun or handgun?
I'm thinking, handgun or rifle from, like, the old Rifleman television show.
From Gunsmoke.
Or Gunsmoke, or, Have Gun Will Travel.
You're dating yourself, dear.
The Rat Patrol. You might have heard it on the Rat Patrol. You guys have no idea what the hell the Rat Patrol is.
They don't know what you're talking about.
You had me at Gunsmoke. You lost me after that.
Ronnie, join us. Join the rest of us of the 21st century, would you please?
Hell
No, we don't want that. God, we don't want
Well,
that.
you have a point. You have a point.
Okay, y'all got a homework assignment. Look up the Rat Patrol.
No, don't.
Yes. Actually, it was very good. It was about a group of soldiers who were fighting Rommel's Africa Corps.
Right.
Who used jeeps and all kinds
I
of stuff.
fucking
in...
watched that with my dad. Oh my god.
Gannon wants to know what year this is. Gannon,
that
this is 1979 apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Sucked 80 was all right though.
79, you know,
Yeah,
we're getting at
79.
the end of disco. You know, like, it
Look,
was
he still
weird.
has the clothes from the 1970s. I can't seem to get him out of that. So.
And
but
your point is, I didn't want at the top of your head. I'm talking
No.
about.
Oh, okay.
Are
And where are you
the
sleeping
horns
tonight? Huh?
Are the horns showing?
Yeah.
On the floor, I'm sure.
Yeah. on the dog bed, and the dog can sleep with me tonight.
get the dog bed tonight.
At
Good
least you get the
job.
dog bed.
That's an upgrade, man.
Shit. Here goes in the truck.
Oh man! All right, guys. Well,
Shit.
all right, guys. Well, I'll go ahead and tell you what. We're gonna go ahead and head towards break time now. We're gonna save the rest of our topics for after break, where of course we will be doing wrestling news among other things. So make sure you stay tuned after the break for wrestling news. However, this will be the end for Old Metal Barrett and Mama Metal. So we're gonna give them a chance to sign off and say goodbye to everybody.
Wait a second. You gotta let Mama hear the voice at least. For wrestling news.
Yeah.
She's got to at least hear the voice. She's never
Yo,
heard the voice.
Yeah,
Really?
there's an
Do
easy
I?
way she and the rest of you out there in internet land can hear the voice is you can follow the Metal Barrett channel or John Joker 13 channel and watch Thursday Night Riots every Thursday 7 o'clock at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
I can't see it. Mama might be able to. At least give her a sample of the voice.
Yeah, come on.
Come on, you got to.
Come on.
Which
Now,
voice?
come on.
Which voice? The
Wait.
intro voice or the?
The intro voice like you do for the Saturday night talk show.
All right, Misty. Good luck with Leland's birthday tomorrow. Let him know happy birthday from the Anarchy Arena for your son there. Have a good rest of the night. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's about time that we go to break here on the Anarchy Arena Talk Show. That's kind of what I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I can do a halfway decent announcing voice when I do the show.
You did miss the calling. He's actually pretty good at that.
You should watch the show one week, and you would see, oh damn, he's actually not half horrible at this.
Well, no, you sound good. I'm just not into wrestling, so sorry.
Neither are half the people that watch the show, and they come back every week.
Okay.
I'm not into wrestling, and I'm on the damn show.
Right?
They come back to listen to me and Chris fucking banter.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is it-
That's the
they're on
appeal.
crap wrestling. They're listening to the two idiots talk back and forth.
That's what we do.
Like, I'm not sad that people come back to
Right.
watch me because I'm dumb. They come back to watch me. Like,
Gannon wants to ask if I'm out of the will now. Am I out of the will now?
Were you in the will before?
Ooh, damn. Shit.
Shit.
We are spending our children's inheritance.
Exactly.
Okay? That ain't, we ain't getting sugar. They ain't
Hence,
getting-
hence the Alaska trip, right?
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Damn.
they're wasting it on blackjack and booze. Like, you know. Like,
I'm not much into blackjack.
Yeah.
But I'm into the booze.
All right,
honestly,
guys.
son, I'd be into booze too.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, this is going to be it for Old Metal Barrett and Mama Metal. We're going to go ahead and let them sign off as we go to break here in just a minute. Thank you all for being with us. We do appreciate it. We'll be back. Break will be a little longer this week because we got to reset some things for the two of them leaving. So give us about 10, 11 minutes. This time we will be back. We'll go straight into wrestling news, finish off the rest of our topics, and probably end this show here just a little bit early. Gannon says Old Metal Barrett looks like a poker player. He kind of does. Kind of does just a little bit.
Mallard, glad to have you back. Thank you for your service, brother.
Thanks for the support.
Yeah. Oh, hope you had
Thanks,
fun,
everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for having us.
As always, it's a pleasure having you over here, man.
Thank you,
You
John.
know, you're a damn good personality.
Mom, I'm glad we got to have you on the show. Dad,
Absolutely.
glad we got to have you. This is gonna be fun. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and head to break. Stay with us. We will be right back.
AMF.
Ho, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time once again on the Anarchy Arena Talk Show where we get to all of your wrestling news here from the AAW motherfucking F. Starting with Thursday Night Riot news, and what a pay-per-view event we had this past Thursday. Right to Revolt number 2, the pay-per-view so nice, we gave it to you twice. Every title was on the line, and we had a hell of a card happen on Thursday night.
Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We had one hell of a turnout. We had one hell of a show for you guys. If you haven't watched it, it's very easy. You can go onto my channel and you can see the past broadcast of Thursday Night Riots. I definitely recommend checking it out. It was one hell of a show. The way it started off was the first match of the night was Lance Logan versus Skinner, the Battle of Canada and America. And ladies and gentlemen, the Canadian punk hero, the ticking time bomb himself, Lance Logan, won that match. It was a tables match, and to be honest with you, the way that match ended was a little bit controversial. It seemed like that table didn't really break, but the ref called for the bell anyways and saying that it did. We may have to have that match one more time. And I'm going to say next Thursday we're going to have that rematch between Lance Logan and Skinner.
Well, there you go, guys. You heard it here first. That's match you're going to see this coming Thursday. That's not all we had. We had a triple threat match for the women's title on the line. We had the Lone Wolf, the champion, taking on Jessie Love, and a new and improved Sundu Rosethorn coming down to the ring with a new attire and a new gimmick that we have to question exactly where that came from. And while the Lone Wolf was our longest reigning champion ever, if you listened carefully, did you notice I said was? That's right. The Lone
Records
Wolf
are meant to be broken.
The Lone Wolf is no longer your women's champion. Jessie Love has reclaimed the AAWF women's title from the Lone Wolf. And
by reclaiming it, she also made her own record, and one record that will never be broken. She became the first two-time AAWF women's champion. So congratulations, Jessie Love. But that was one hell of a match, and I think the storyline of that match was in fact Sundu Rosethorn. Sundu came out and she's a lot more vicious. She seemed to have a more vicious streak in her, and I don't know if that was a direct cause of her potential partnership with some mysterious force. Now, we still have no idea who that was backstage. We still have no idea who the hooded figure was in the AAWF. We don't know who may have helped her transform into the plant. I guess she's now plant life that she is. But I promise you this much, fans of AWF, we will get on the case and we will find out for you sometime in the near future. Absolutely. And after that match, we had our tag team match between the Corporation, that's right, Pookie and Ugboom, being led out to the ring by Mr. Barnes, if you will, taking on the Super Friends. And lo and behold, in the AAWF, it's true, even underdogs can win. And the Super Friends somehow, some way, snuck away with a win in that match, and they are now the first two times tag team champions here in the AAWF. A lot of first on the second pay-per-view, second Right to Revolt.
Absolutely. I want to take a pause here real quick. Extreme Master, thank you for the $10 donation, for Mallard being back and loving all our anarchists. And now I have to call you out, because this was the week that Old Metal Barrett was sitting there right next to John, and Mama Metal was sitting right here, and you come in 5 minutes after they go away. You've been called out. Old Metal Barrett is not happy with you. You better watch your back. Just like some other people in the AAWF had better watch their back, because we also now have a brand new Twitch champion. No, we don't have a brand new Twitch champion. I'm sorry. The Twitch.tv championship did not change hands. The Dork King was able to retain his title over Gabriel Igneous this past week. It was a hard-fought match. Gabriel Igneous really tried his damnedest, but the Dork King played the brain game and was able to come out on top and retain that pretty purple belt.
Well, that's fine and dandy, and I'm proud to know that the Dork King did defend his title successfully. But, and here's the big but, it's a TV championship for a reason. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to also announce another match. It's going to be the main event of on the next Thursday Night Riot. Gabriel Igneous versus Dork Keen for the Twitch TV Championship. I hope you guys are ready, because I know I will be ready for that hell of a match. I promise you the second one is going to be just as good as the first one, because it looked like Gabriel may have had a chance to bring himself back into a winning manner, but unfortunately he came up just a little short. So we're going to have that rematch next week on Thursday Night Riots.
Well, there you go, guys. You've already got 2 matches booked for this coming Thursday, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. But to be honest, none of those are the biggest stories of this past week at Right to Revolt number 2, the main event of the evening. Champion.
I feel like you're a little bit biased there,
I might be a little bit biased, but it's okay. Current champion Tony Barrett walks into the ring to face Caleb Cassidy, the natural disaster, someone he has never beaten inside the AAWF, ever. In the history of this company, has never put down Caleb Cassidy. Him and Caleb fought for what seemed like eons, back and forth, finisher after finisher after finisher, and at the end of it all, your reigning, defending, and still AAWF World Heavyweight Champion Tony Barrett retains over Caleb Cassidy in the ultimate underdog story.
But he may not be reigning for long, because as we know from that table match we had at the beginning of the show, it determined our next number 1 contender, and he has to take on Lance Logan.
That's right. Lance Logan versus Tony Barrett is going to be what's coming down the pipeline here as we head towards our very next pay-per-view here in about 3 to 4 weeks. That's a match you can look forward to once again for the AAWF World Heavyweight Championship.
It is going to be one hell of a show. Now, for those of you that may be watching and go, hey, what the hell is the AAWF? Or, hey, how do I get involved in the AAWF? Or, hey, I'd like to actually get in the ring a little bit. Well, it's very simple. It's very easy. All you have to do is give me, John the Joker 13, at twitch.tv/John the Joker 13, a subscription. It is only $5, and I ask you guys give me a $25 subscription because I think it's stupid. But it is $5, a $5 subscription. Not only do you get a corn dog, but you also get a character that will be featured on Thursday Night Riots in the AAWF. And case in point, at Right to Revolt number 2, the newest one, Gabriel Igneous, was in a title picture. So don't think I'm just going to make a character and ignore you for a little bit. And hey, if you feel like you've been ignored, don't worry. It's about to turn around. I'm about to have a little bit of focus on you guys as well. Do not worry. I will bring that shit back. But if for $5 a month, you can get a free corn dog and you get a character that will be involved in Thursday Night Riots. I think it's a pretty much bargain deal, in my opinion.
And not only with all that, not only do you get your corn dog and a character, but as part of that package deal, your character gets custom entrance music created live on stream by yours truly, the Metal Barrett. Whether it's something you want cut up of an actual song or you want completely custom entrance music, we can do that for you, and we will do it live on stream so you can put in all of your input. You will have a completely custom character, music and all, after 1 week's worth of show watching. It's a great, fun experience. I highly encourage anyone who really enjoys watching Thursday Night Rides, give it a try, have a character made, watch every week, and see what happens and what unfolds with your character. You don't want to miss it. We'll be back with Thursday Night Rides next week on Thursday, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time over on John the Joker 13's channel. Don't miss it. Everyone seems to love that show. We fucking love doing it.
You know what, John? Fuck it.
Yeah.
Do me. I'll get the subscription. I'm not into wrestling, but
All right.
This is interesting. I like the enthusiasm that you guys have toward this.
Well, how is Monday
Do me.
nights looking for you? So I can make your character.
I don't know. Right
Well,
now.
I mean, I can make it for you just because I've seen you enough to know
Yeah.
what your face looks like, so I can do it that way. What kind of gimmick would you want? See, this is the discussion I will have with you. I'll do it live on stream
Yeah.
if you subscribe then, or I could do it right now. What kind of gimmick would you like to have? Because we already have two rednecks, so we could do the 3-person redneck team if you want, but
You get the fabulous gun-toting Freebirds.
I kind of like that idea.
all right, fuck it, I'll do it.
Let's have this 3-person redneck team. Who are the other rednecks?
Skinner, who's based off of Stack, and Cletus J. Johnson Jr., who's based off of Nitro.
I don't know Nitro.
Yeah, he's been hanging around here. He came in I think right when you were leaving.
Oh, okay.
When you want to leave. But yeah, so I guess Monday is going to be Thursday night. Is going to be Monday Night Call. Make sure to check out that, and if you're partially interested in seeing how the creative process works with that, it's the best way to watch it. Usually I hang out, I play some music, I chill for a little bit, and I'll make a character or two, depending on how many new subs I have. But yeah, it's totally it's a fun time for everybody. It's a really chill stream. I enjoy doing that part of it.
Well, there you go, guys. We're going to have a new Monday Night Call. We're going to have a new character. So the following Monday, we will make Mallard's entrance theme based off of that character, whatever music he wants. So he's got roughly a week to think about what kind of entrance music he would want for his character. Not this coming Monday. I will not be streaming this coming Monday due to the eclipse and having to go out and socialize with people and whatnot.
Oh,
but
yeah,
the following
Monday's
Monday,
no good for me.
Yeah, it's fine.
So
it's fine. I might do it on Wednesday because Wednesday usually was going to be my day off. But yeah, fuck it. If you're subbing to me, you'll get a character on Wednesday. Does that sound good?
Whatever. There's no time rush on that.
All right, cool.
So be prepared for the new character. Be prepared for new music for that character. And as always, our characters have a tendency to debut right after the next pay-per-view, so you don't have to wait long to see it. It's a fun time. Speaking of fun time, this is a big week in real-world wrestling, a.k.a. in the world of the WWE. It is SummerSlam weekend. That is tomorrow night on the WWE Network. Tonight, however, was NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. This has become a staple for them ever since they did the first one. It ends up being their biggest show of the year.
And honestly,
it's always amazing.
It's always amazing, and it kind of blows out the pay-per-view that happens afterwards.
Yep.
I'm not even joking. It's the B League technically in the WWE, but for some reason the B League is better than the A shit. So I'm happy for you again that you got Oiler versus Vegas tickets. Hopefully you guys don't get embarrassed by them, because if you get embarrassed by expansion team, I'd just burn the jersey.
Right?
Anyway, yeah. TakeOver was tonight, and I do have results for you guys. If we want to hear them, we can go from the top of the card to the bottom, or we can just hit the championship matches. How do you want to do this, Chris?
Let's just hit up the championship matches for now.
All right. Well, we'll start with the big one, and by the big one I mean the NXT Championship, the men's championship. Drew McIntyre defeats Bobby Roode, the incumbent champion, for the title. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, to me blows my mind. I thought Bobby Roode was going to hold that title for a little bit longer, and I thought honestly Bobby Roode was going to hold that title until he got his match with Roderick Strong later down the line. Now it appears to be that Roderick Strong and Drew McIntyre might be going into a little bit of a program. I think that's going to be great wrestling no matter what, no matter who's involved in that. But I honestly want to see Roderick Strong be involved with the NXT Championship. And then before that match, we had our Women's Championship. And for the 544th day, I think is what they actually called it at, Asuka still retains her title over Ember Moon. I'm sorry, I know people may have wanted to see the title off of her. I honestly feel like she's done everything she can at NXT. I want to see Asuka go up to the main roster with the NXT title and go, I've beaten every one of you.
Right. No one can beat me down here. I've beaten all of you up here. What the fuck do you have for me?
I just wanted her to start collecting titles. Like, I want her to start challenging for the Intercontinental title, the United States title, the Tag Team Championship. Hell, she don't need a tag team partner, and she can compete for that. I want to see Asuka kill everybody, because that's the only way you're gonna book her after this. She's held that title for so fucking long.
They've got to do something major if she ever drops it. Like, it's gonna have to be a major thing.
Right. Like 540 fucking days as one champion, and in today's WWE, that's a fucking feat. And then later on in the night, we had Aleister Black defeating Hideo Itami via pinfall. I think that Aleister Black is going to be soon going to be getting that little bit of a push towards that NXT title. I don't think he's going to get it first. I don't think he's going to get it before Roderick Strong, but I think he's going to be getting it sometime in the near future. They're pushing him as a guy to beat. So I think that's going to be a really, really fucking fun to see. Then we had the NXT Tag Team Championship. Sanity took on the Authors of Pain, and Sanity got the win. They are new NXT Tag Champions, but that's not the story of the fucking of that fucking match. You want to know what the story of that fucking match is?
Let me pause you there real quick. Choke Me Pebbles, thank you very much for the follow. I do appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. That is my 151st follower. So thank you very much, and we really do appreciate it. Go ahead, John.
Wait, what was that name?
Choke Me Pebbles. That's a
I'm
clever one. That's a clever
I'm down
one.
with that. Anyways, after the match, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly go into the ring to lay out both Sanity and the Authors of Pain. Now, you might be asking, who the fuck's Bobby Fish and who the fuck is Kyle O'Reilly? They were Team ROH. This is good. This is the next big team in NXT, and honestly, I don't think it can be coming anytime sooner, because the tag team division in NXT has been kind of bland for the last, I would say, year.
I mean, it's pretty much just been the Authors of Pain and Sanity, because Gargano and Ciampa split up. Everyone else moved up.
Well, you have heavy machinery, which it's good, but it ain't like champion. You couldn't put a championship on them.
No.
And then it's like the jobber of the week. And now we have the Street Profits, which is actually a really fun gimmick. And now we have Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly on the same fucking team.
Right.
It's going to be amazing if you're a wrestling fan. Definitely give that a check. And let's see, we had the opening match was Andrade Cien Almas taking on Johnny Gargano. And unfortunately, Andrade gets the fucking win. I hate this shit. Why are we burying Gargano right now, especially with Candice LeRae coming up in the Mae Young Classic? They could have had a beautiful moment where Gargano wins and Candice LeRae comes out there and celebrates with her husband. I think that'd have been a great fucking moment. But of course, we can't book it that way.
Right. I don't know why we're bothering to bury Johnny Gargano. There's a reason he's called Johnny Wrestling. The dude is good. He's really good. He's great in the ring. He's great on the mic. The man's got charisma out the ass. Why are we burying him? You should be putting championships on the guy.
I can kind of agree with that. To be honest, though, it's not really that much of a bury. It was a good fucking match. Johnny was in the match the entire time. He lost some bullshit. Like, it was, it wasn't a clean victory by Andrade. So, I can kind of see like both sides of it. I kind of see the reason why you'd want Johnny to lose, but I still think that it's a dumb idea to have him come back and then lose his fucking first match.
Well, I feel like if they keep booking him that way, that he's gonna end up getting oh god damn it, now I can't remember his name. Fucking Perfect 10. He's gonna get the Ty Dillinger treatment, where Ty Dillinger is amazing and looks great in every match he's in, and every time he's given a big opportunity, he ends up going down and putting the other guy over. I feel like if they're not careful, they're going to do the same thing to Gargano and then push him up to the main roster, and he's going to be a nothing. Which, unfortunately, is kind of what's happened to Ty Dillinger. He was amazing in NXT. I love Ty Dillinger matches. Ty Dillinger is so much fun to watch. But he was always the guy who was there to put over somebody else.
Ty kind of got lost in the shuffle a little bit. I think that his day's coming up soon.
He got the Tyler Breeze treatment.
Yeah, in a way. I think it's less that and more of, like, he came up when Shinsuke and other, in the Revival came up. So he was, like, the lesser of those debuts, so I can kind of understand that. Mallard is just enthralled. I know, right? He's sitting over there
He's
playing.
just fucking in trance.
But that's all we're going to talk about with wrestling tonight. We want to talk about the pay-per-view and the our pay-per-view and the WWE pay-per-view tonight. So let's get into, I guess, do you want to go to entertainment or tech? Which way you want to go, Mallard?
Let's go. I'm thinking tech here real quick.
All right. Mallard, do you want to talk about Discord or the Android?
Let's talk about the Android.
All right.
All right,
Well,
so the new operating system for Android is getting announced on Monday, coinciding with the eclipse, which is not a coincidence because the code name is Android O. Now, as we all know, the shape of a sun is what's the shape of the sun, John? It's an O, okay. And what's the shape of the moon, John? It's wait, can you figure it out? Yeah, it's also an O. So it's interesting that this coincides. The current rumor is that it's going to be called Android Oreo, dark and white, light and black eclipse. They kind of planned it that way. And apparently some big things are coming with this. They've been really, really tight-lipped about what Android O is supposed to bring. But apparently it's going to bring major performance improvements at the very least, as well as some new features that are going to become a household name, is what Google's telling us. So it'll be interesting
We haven't
to
heard
see.
that before.
Right.
Yeah, I was about to say.
We've heard that plenty of times. Granted, we're very rarely burned by a new Android OS. When they say, hey, we put this new feature in it, and it works, 9 times out of 10 it does. Like, Google's never disappointed me. Bixby was a Samsung thing. Samsung's had their own share of shit, okay? Bixby was Samsung. Google Assistant works beautifully.
Just say that. I was about to say Bixby.
Yeah.
I was like,
Bixby was Samsung. You can't hold Google accountable for that shit.
So being in the middle of fucking nowhere for 6 months, I get home. The first thing I do is go buy a new phone. I got the S8, which is also my first taste of the most recent Android that is already out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just not getting used to this one. And then there's another one that's rolling out, and Samsung or AT&T is usually pretty good on their updates. So I'm probably going to have to relearn a bunch of shit here in a couple of months.
And as the Extreme Master said himself, so it'll come out on Pixel next week, and everyone else will see it in December.
Right.
That's about the way it's gonna fucking go. Like it'll come out on Pixel, and like all the Pixel nerds will be like, "Oh, fucking obviously it's great," yeah. And then we'll be like,
They'll all be drinking tea out of tiny cups with their pinkies out and driving their Ferraris and.
I want my smartphone to be optimized. Like, you know?
No, you get no optimization. No.
Oh god, now again, I was going to talk about the damn B1. It's a plane.
big plane.
Anyways.
I feel like I might have missed something here. Did Billy go on a B1 rant?
He did, like, I think one of the times that
I think it was one of his last shows. He made a point to remind everyone that the B1 is a fucking workhorse.
Well, it is.
Yeah, you can't kill that thing because it moves too fast. It's more than just a
If
plane.
you can get it off the ground.
Yeah.
Can't get
That's
off
the trick.
ground.
That's the trick.
Well, that's why they have you fuckers there, right?
Right, y'all
Yeah.
just push until the propellers kick in all the way, and
Propellers.
Gannon always acts like he knows about it. Goddamn,
of course, the Air Force.
Well, at least it's not one thing, right? Right? Like,
So, what are your feelings on Android O, John?
to be honest with you, like, my phone's a phone. I give two shits about what my phone does. Can I make calls? Can I play some stupid like fucking time waster game on it? Can I watch YouTube on it? If the answer to all three of those questions are yes, awesome. I'm sold. Like, to be honest with you, new OS, cool. That's a great idea. To me, it doesn't affect me one way or the other. Just because I've always got a phone that's like a generation behind.
Fair enough,
So-
fair enough. Well, the next time we do a talk show, not this coming Saturday, but the one after, we will have that information for you on what Android releases, as far as their details concerning Android O, Oreo, Omnom, whatever the fuck they're calling it. I honestly
Om nom.
can't...
I hope it's not Om nom.
No, I hope it is Omnom, to be honest, because they name everything after a dessert, and there's only one O dessert I can think of off the top of my head, and it is the Oreo. So it's probably going to be Android Oreo.
When I saw that, though, my first thought was, Oreo's a copyrighted name.
Exactly.
And,
Right.
Oh, wait. I started doing a little bit of digging
So
though.
so is
We
Kit
had a
Kat.
Kit Kat.
Kit Kat is copyrighted.
Froyo.
I don't know if Froyo is copyrighted or not. I think it's just colloquialism.
Well, there is a actual Froyo company though.
Oh, is there?
The name of the business is Froyo, so I'm going to assume that it is copyright in some form. But anyway,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, the Droid phone in the first place is copyrighted because Droid.
Yeah, Lucasfilm
right?
coined the term droid. So,
Yeah.
you can think about it as cross marketing in a way, I guess. Or either that or the other companies. Okay, they're like, you're a phone, we're food. Why the fuck do we care?
Yeah, because I'm gonna be like, hey, my fucking OS updated. I really want Oreos.
either that or Google is paying out a fuck ton of money to be able to use those names.
Yeah, they're paying
Like
out.
they don't have it.
Right, they're paying Nabisco out the ass to use Oreo. So the next one, if this tanks, it'll be the generic Nilla wafer that you see at your grocery store, like the Kroger Super Edition Nilla wafer will be the next Android OS.
The Piggly Wiggly brand.
Right,
Yes.
Piggly Wiggly Nilla wafers.
And then, you know, the iPhone will start doing it, and then there'll be the Great Value brand ones. So,
Right.
yes, I almost got a spit take. Damn it.
Oh.
Well, to try to avoid this landmine that has been in our country this week, everyone's been talking about, we're just going to talk about the tech part of it with Discord.
So here's the deal. Here's the deal. Some shit happened. Some people were assholes to some other people who were also slightly being assholes, and then other people were also being assholes about the whole thing. And some of those assholes were being assholes on the internet and on Discord. And Discord said, hey, you're violating our terms of service. We're not allowing it. Guess what? See this thing? This is a hammer. You know what I wrote on the side of this hammer? Ban. Dunk. You're gone. Bye.
All right, so I'm not gonna decide one way or the other. I'm not gonna voice any opinion on it. But what exactly in the terms of service are they using as an excuse to be able to ban?
Inciting of violence and hate speech.
Yes,
that's actually in the terms of service, black and white.
That is in their terms of service. Yeah. It's also, for the record, it's also in Twitter's terms of service, YouTube's terms of service, Twitch's terms of service, Reddit. Every major social media platform has that in their terms of service.
There's no argument there.
Right. Now Discord does have a policy of not purposely going into servers and looking and invading privacy, but if
somebody has to report
it. And when it's reported, then they'll investigate. And they found that the people who are reporting on these particular hate group servers, okay, yeah, they're right. This is hate speech. Discord doesn't allow that. You're violating our terms of service. Your server is shut down.
All right, so instead of Discord going in and looking for these servers, they have a bunch of the fucking left-wing nut jobs going in there doing it for them.
It's not even necessarily that. Yeah. It could have been anybody that popped it in. It was... I know it wasn't just, and sorry everybody for getting mildly political for 2 seconds. I know it wasn't just quote unquote right wing servers that were taken down. There were far left servers that were taken down. There were racist servers that were taken down. It was hate speech across the board. Discord said absolutely not here, and put the ban hammer on a lot of different ones.
I don't give a fuck. I'll take the heat. It wasn't just Nazis they were bringing down. It was also Antifa and shit like that.
Yeah.
And people were saying, like, I was following this on Twitter when they announced that they were doing it. And, like, every, like, third fucking comment thread was, but my freedom of speech. And...
yeah, your freedom of speech only gets you so fucking far.
Here's the thing. Your freedom of speech allows you to say whatever the fuck you want in a public space. But if you're on something like Twitch or Discord or any other, like, social media website... which
is not actually a public space.
Right. You are basically, when you sign up for that and you are supposed to read the terms of service, you're agreeing to, hey, this is your website, I'm just posting things on it. It's not your freedom of speech anymore. It's like going into Walmart and screaming racial epithets at the top of your fucking lungs. Guess what Walmart's going to fucking do? Kick your ass out so damn fast it'll spin your head.
Well, the way I look at it, though, is when you sign up for a service like this, you are, in a sense, representing Twitch or representing Discord.
Correct.
Right.
They don't want this kind of negativity tied to that name.
As
So,
well they
yeah.
should. And they're well within
Exactly.
their rights
I
to think
agree.
that. So yeah,
So-
they laid the ban hammer down on all these people, and I'm completely okay with it. They did the right thing. There are places for that kind of language and rhetoric, and I'm sorry, Discord's not one of them. The gaming community as a whole is not one of them. That's not what it shouldn't be one of them. Okay, excuse me, it shouldn't be.
You haven't watched Chat and Rust.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
You haven't had like you haven't had team chat open on fucking PUBG.
No,
Trust-
I purposely turned that shit off because I know how toxic those motherfuckers are.
And it's not really like the last couple times I've done it, it's not really been that bad. But I've had moments where I'm just like, oh god, like it's pretty fucking bad. And I agree with Gannon. Why can't we just sell this over a game of fucking hockey? Why can't
Right.
all political battles be sold in a game of hockey? Let's fucking have it on the ice, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's do that. So I think what we're all getting at here, everybody, is we'd all like to give props to Discord for doing the right thing, stepping up and saying, no, not here. This isn't the place. Get the fuck out of our service.
Right. Like, and again, it's not just people they disagree with. It's anybody that breaks their terms of service. You say anything about inciting violence or any type of hate speech of any kind, you break their terms of service. Guess what, homeboy? Bye-bye. You can go the fuck away.
Exactly.
So, and that's Discord's prerogative. Just like it's Twitter's prerogative, just like it's Reddit's prerogative. You can be deleted from any social media website or any other type of app like that without fucking notice. And the best you can do is fucking just
Except for Facebook. Facebook allows all the shit.
Facebook's monitoring system is much more
Non-existent?
general. It exists, but it's too far generalized. Where YouTube's monitoring system is extremely strict, like overly strict. Facebook's monitoring system is overly generalized, and it doesn't pick up on a lot of the shit until it gets reported.
right.
Whereas Discord
that's
has
the reason I've
reporting.
walked away from Facebook for a while. And that's the reason I go to stuff like this. I get on Twitch, I get on Discord, I talk to people, and I can get away from all of the fucking mess and not have to read about it and worry about it and talk to people about it.
Exactly. Like I'm like the other day I got on Facebook and I literally saw like 3 pages of stupid shit talking about Charlottesville, and I was just like, I'm this fucking close to just deleting my shit and walking the fuck away. I'm so done with the Facebook arguments about politics. It's getting ridiculous. But I mean, if you guys want to avoid that topic, I'm more than happy. But like that shit has been driving me nuts.
Well, to be completely honest with you, I have no stance on either side of this. That may sound odd coming from, you know me.
Yeah.
Just jackass hillbilly from Arkansas. I really just want people to quit being fucking retarded and leave everything alone.
The only thing the only thoughts I have about it are it's very simple. Look, we shouldn't be wasting public resources on statues fucking anyways. It should be an artist doing it and then sell artists doing it for the good of civic duty, what the fuck ever, and then the state can decide whether they want to put it up. I think any state-sponsored statue of any kind is stupid. But in all honesty, there's no reason to get as angry as people did about it on either side until violence got involved, and then I completely understood everything that people did in response to that. So
I'm sorry. I'll let you finish.
And so, as far as I'm concerned, like there is no two sides to this. There's the right side and the wrong side, and it's very clearly defined.
Very. The only point I will make on this, and this goes without saying. Some of you know this, some of you don't. So for those of you that don't, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Part of my heritage is that of the Jew. So, I don't care what some people said over here. I don't care what some people said over here. I think most of these people need to open up a fucking history book and do a little education on themselves. The one people I do want to say some shit to, fuck you, you Nazi motherfuckers. And that's the end of that. So, moving on topics now.
Nobody likes Nazis.
Nobody likes Nazis. We literally fought a war to get rid of the motherfuckers. Fuck you. That's the end of that topic. So, moving on. We've only got a couple more things here to go through, and then we're going to end up closing it out. There was a piece of news that broke earlier this week that is kind of a repeat of something that happened last week. Another Game of Thrones episode leaked. Again. Except this time it wasn't pirated. HBO fucked up. HBO Spain fucked up, actually. They accidentally released the episode on their video-on-demand service for 1 hour before somebody realized their mistake and took it down. So next week's, or this coming week's episode, tomorrow night's episode of Game of Thrones, was available for a grand total of an hour. People found it, and now there are millions of copies of it all over the internet. And I basically had to walk around my job for the last 3 days with my fingers in my ears so certain people who are assholes wouldn't spoil it for me. I've already learned things about this week's episode that I didn't want to know until I watched it.
And that's the funny thing is I was actually talking to a friend, Jaron. So you may, I don't think he's actually been on here yet, but Jaron was a mutual friend of me and Chris's.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Man, did you see about the Game of Thrones spoilers?" I was like, "Yeah, I just been avoiding any YouTube shit about that." He's like, "But I look up Game of Thrones clips while I'm bored." I'm like, "Then don't."
Don't. It's really that simple. Just don't.
And yes, that guy did get fired who fucking put that up. So,
how do you that? I don't think that's a fuck up. I think that was intentional.
It was intentional.
It was intentional.
I guarantee it was.
It was oops, my bad, everybody. I fucked up.
It's no different than what 2 seasons ago they leaked the first 4 episodes of the season.
Yeah.
Basically,
like on the season premiere weekend, you could get the first 4.
Yeah.
And my dumbass sat down and watched all of them, and then I had to wait a long fucking time again.
Right.
That's the reason why I didn't do it, because I was like, if I'm gonna watch all 4 of them in a row, then, god damn, I'm gonna be waiting 5 weeks in order to get in order to get any type of closure on that.
Right.
I'll just watch them as they come out.
Exactly. That's why I was like, dude, don't tell me nothing. I know you watched it. That's on you. I can wait till Sunday. It's okay. I've only got 3 more weeks, and then I have to wait a fucking year to see the end of this shit. Okay? Just let me go week to week for now. I will survive. So yeah, again, HBO gets hit with Game of Thrones leaks. Another big media company was in the news this week. Disney was in the news this week for a really interesting business decision that they made. I'm not sure what to make of it, to be honest, but Disney announces that they are splitting from Netflix. I wrote it wrong here in the notes. My bad, guys. Disney announces that they are splitting from Netflix. They will no longer have their content on the most popular video streaming app in the world. And they are set to release their own online streaming service in 2019. Now, they haven't unveiled a timeline for when they're pulling their material off. They haven't named their new service that they're going to unveil in 2019. They just said, we're leaving Netflix and making our own, because everybody needs a streaming service, right? You get a streaming service, and you get a streaming service, and you get a streaming service, and
no,
God, this is so annoying.
Wait a minute, though. Disney's pulling out of Netflix, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so Disney owns Marvel.
Yeah, this is my major concern.
And all right, so I know this is also in the topic list for a little bit later. The Defenders.
Yeah, that's my major concern.
Are they pulling from? Because that's a Netflix original.
That is a Netflix original. That Netflix commissioned it from Marvel. Now, I think what should happen is, because Marvel is its own wholly owned subsidiary, is Marvel can go, hey, look, I know you're pulling away, you big fucking stupid sounding mouse. I know you're pulling away, but we have a deal with Netflix. We're gonna stay over here and hang out with them, but just for these projects. Any new projects, yeah, we'll totally do over there. These projects we already have commitments to, we're gonna keep on Netflix, because The Punisher just got announced for the fall. Jessica Jones season 2 just got announced, which, by the way, David Tennant's Kilgrave is coming back. That just got announced.
Hopefully he actually is purple this fucking time.
Hopefully he is actually purple. The Defenders just released this past, just yesterday, actually. We'll get to that here in just a minute. So yeah, that's, I'm glad you brought that up, Mallard, because that's my major concern with this.
Here's, again, Chris, you like to doom say a lot.
I do.
and I like to kind of bring you back from the brink. Here's one reason I'm kind of okay with it. Disney, I'm a Disney fan right here. I'm a Disney fan. I love a lot of what you guys put out. But what I hate is how you release shit, especially the vault bullshit. I really hate that. So if you're going to do a streaming service, I'm going to tell you how to do it because it's a business plan that works every time someone does it. And if you don't follow this one, your streaming service goes to crap. Have all of your movies and all of your TV shows available upon start. That's how the WWE Network works so well, because literally I can get on my phone when I go to bed and go, I want to watch every SummerSlam, and I can fucking do that. I can start from 1988 till fucking tomorrow, literally, and watch every SummerSlam if I want to. That, as a wrestling fan, makes me fucking giddy.
And let's face it, there are some people that are such big Disney fanatics that are almost as big as wrestling fanatics are about wrestling. They would watch every fucking Disney movie ever put out in a row in chronological order if they had the ability to. And you're right, if Disney's smart, they will put everything on this app and do it that way. And they'll make their money that way. But if they don't do it that way, this is going to fail on them. This is going to fail hard.
Yeah, I mean, like, I understand maybe doing seasonal ones, like maybe not have Halloween Town and, you know, shit like that in January, but in October, bring that shit out, like Halloween Town and fucking Nightmare Before Christmas. Make sure that's on your front page of your streaming service. But, like, a lot of people don't give a shit what time of the year it is. They really want to watch, like, Peter Pan, or they really want to watch Pete's Dragon, not the shitty fucking remake.
The original from the 70s that's dark as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ever go back and watch that movie as an adult? It's dark as fuck, you guys. Pete's Dragon is
creepy.
fucked up.
Money, money, money by the pound.
Yeah.
Spots House saying about 2025 there will be the world will be apps, TV will be no more. I think it's actually going to be sooner than that.
Yeah.
And the reason I
much
think it's
sooner.
going to be is because if ESPN is failing and losing money, everyone can lose money.
Speaking of which, ESPN is the next one to get its own streaming service because guess who owns ESPN?
Yeah, Disney.
Disney.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah, but
Disney
they-
owns
they-
Oh,
ESPN.
shit.
Yeah, the mouse runs everything, Mallard. I don't know if you know that. The mouse
Everything.
runs everything.
Oh, shit.
I'm sure he even owns Warner Brothers somehow.
No, they've been independent. But yeah, and you know, Gannon saying I'll just buy another streaming service. I mean, that's what people are gonna do. People are gonna want to be a la carte. The cable, as it is dying a very quick death. Not slow. It's dying really quickly. Because, like I said, if you can't sell fucking sports on cable, you can't sell anything on fucking cable. That's why, like, there's like 50,000 fucking reality shows on every channel now. Have you guys noticed that? Like, anybody that actually has a fucking TV box, what I want you to do is I want you to go channel surfing, and I want you to write down, like, just a little fucking, like, mark, and go, and take a mark every time you see a reality TV show.
So I don't know what the general demographic is of our viewers right now, but when I was in middle school and early high school, I would throw CMT on in the morning when I was getting ready, and oh shit, hey, it was playing country music. That's fucking weird, right?
Yeah, I know, a fucking music channel playing fucking music.
And then when MTV actually played music videos for the majority of the day, not just part of it, like
Right.
all fucking day. It was
I'm not
music
sure you can
videos.
find music videos at all anymore on any of these.
And then it was MTV2 when MTV got took over by all this shit. And MTV2 was now the music video channel.
Right,
But
and it was really fucking
now it's
cool.
not anymore.
And then
So
you had
where-
VH1 and VH1 Classic where you could watch your classic music videos.
Is that one even still around?
VH1? VH1's still around.
VH1's
What-
still
do
around.
they play
VH1
music
Classic got no, barely. At like 6 o'clock in the morning for like an hour is the only time you can find music videos on VH1.
And you know, you had Much Music. That was my personal fucking favorite. Much Music was my shit.
You had Fuse, which died a very quick death,
I
unfortunately.
remember Fuse.
Fuse was the shit.
That was like the Metalheads fucking channel.
It was. And Ganem does bring up a good point. It was with the advent of the internet, you can watch your music video, whichever one you want, anytime you want, with the convenience of your computer screen, and then later on down the road, your smartphone, your tablet, hell, probably your smartwatch. You know, it partially killed the music channels because you didn't have to wait for your favorite video to come on. You could watch it whenever the fuck you wanted.
And I don't want to say this too loud, but you don't have to have a fucking subscription for it either.
It's true. It's true.
But you can have a subscription to me and the Metal Barrett here.
That's right, you can. I don't have a can of body armor, but I still want to be sponsored by them, so this stream is still brought to you by the world's greatest electrolyte drink, body armor.
But no, think. I also want you guys to think about this for a second. Why do people still make music videos?
It's a marketing scheme.
It was made to sell the album.
Yes.
Now you don't have to go to a store to get the album. I can just fucking open my Spotify and go that. And now music videos are another source of income for artists. You can monetize your fucking music video, and every time it gets a click, and someone looks in the ad, you get money off of it. That's the only way I can justify making a music video anymore. Like, it makes no sense to me.
Yeah, the only thing it does is make ad revenue now. You don't put it up on the big music channels. Nobody does. You might get a snippet of a playthrough on like Good Morning America if you're like a major pop star or something. Yeah, exactly. And that's about it. While streaming services are wonderful, Spots House, thank you for the bits. I super appreciate it, man. Super appreciate it. Thank you very much. The streaming services are slowly killing every other kind of media. It's slowly killing cable. Not slowly enough for me, to be perfectly honest. It's slowly killing off music channels and whatnot because we have YouTube that we can do everything with. There's going to be a line that we're going to hit where either A, the streaming services are going to finally get good enough that you can have one with everything, or everyone's going to go, man, I kind of miss my cable box, and revert back.
No, I will never fucking say that.
I won't either.
Once I lose my cable box, I will not fucking shed one fucking tear for that thing.
I got rid of cable 2 years ago.
The only reason why we still have it is because it costs us more money to not have it.
Yep, it will actually cost us more money to just have internet and no cable than to keep it the way we have it.
Let me rephrase that. I dropped it down to the most basic cable I could because I'm in the same boat, but I don't watch my fucking cable. I've got a Roku, or I've actually got a smart TV in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
I got a Roku connected to the TV in my little man cave here, and yeah, it's just instant access. I pull up whatever the fuck I decide I want to watch that day.
Right. We got the same thing downstairs, and Chris has in his room.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have fucking Google. We have the Google Chromecast. Why the hell would I need to look at your fucking cable channel and channel surf? Like, that's the thing that kids the kids we raise are not gonna understand. We're gonna tell them about, hey, sometimes what you wanted to watch wasn't on, so you had to watch the program before it.
And
so
they're gonna be like, what?
Yeah.
Dad, what are you talking about? You're a crazy person.
Or you had to program the VCR to record, and you had these weird plastic boxes that had this black tape inside of it that you would put it in there.
Oh, hell, dude. People 5 years younger than us probably don't even know nothing about that shit. Are you kidding?
True.
We're going to tell our kids about remote controls, and they're going to go, huh? Why?
All right, so I was the fucking remote control when I was a kid.
Right?
Yeah, so was I.
Hey, go turn the knob on the TV.
And I was also the cable repairman. Hey, go make sure that antenna's running right.
Go get them rabbit ears.
I'd have to go outside and turn the fucking antenna until Dad was yelling at me from the living room. It's like, a little bit more. Fuck me.
All right, I can see the Razorbacks.
It's
like,
it's 20 degrees outside, and I'm in my drawers, Dad. Come on.
Yeah, but it's a fourth quarter. We need to see if they can make a comeback.
I can't say I've never heard that before.
Exactly. I'm speaking from experience here. And corded controllers. Nobody's going to understand that shit.
Right.
Nobody's going to understand controllers in the first place. Now they're like, controllers are just whatever the fuck you want to make them out of. Like now you can literally have like little fucking things as a controller, and then put a tablet in between it, and call it a console.
But we're not going to touch that switchy subject. So the last thing we have to talk about tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is something we briefly touched on earlier this evening. Yesterday on Netflix dropped the Marvel Superheroes television mashup Supreme. The Defenders started yesterday, which combines Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and the Iron Fist, and a little bit of Punisher. Yeah, the Iron Fist. No, the Iron Fist, and a little bit of Punisher, apparently. That dropped yesterday on Netflix. I started watching it. I've watched the first 2 or 3 episodes, and I'm enjoying it so far. I'm enjoying it. They've all just met each other for the first time. I will say this: it's like a lot of the Marvel Netflix stuff. It's got a slow start, but you always need that slow start for what happens at the end.
Right.
People always bitch about the slow start. I'm like, but you needed it to explain the ending of the season.
Well, the other problem with the movie sort so slow, it's a fucking TV series. Like you're gonna have to with movies, you don't have to build that relationship as much because you got an hour and a half to 2 hours to build it. Fuck it, it's not that important compared to the other shit. The TV series, you have to build something about these characters you want to continue watching because conventional TV style, you want to come back every fucking week. And if you're, that's the point of making interesting characters, both in TV and in other things like D&D,
right.
Is that you want to make a character that you don't know everything about at first, or they don't trust each other at first, or something like that. It's called development, and people that have been spoon-fed fucking shitty Marvel films that are all about fucking blowing stuff up and fighting aliens, they don't fucking want to sit there and learn about why Jessica Jones doesn't trust the fucking Purple Man, or why Lucas Cage gave up on fucking violence for a while. They don't care about that. Me personally, I'm a comic fan. I used to have to read the fucking books every goddamn month in order to figure out the story. I don't mind. Yes, give me more information about them. Give me more fucking character development. That's the way I look at it.
I full-heartedly agree with you. I'm enjoying it so far. There is one very poignant scene where I think it was in the second episode where Luke Cage actually has a discussion with Danny Rand about a view of him and a man from Harlem and his view of white privilege as Danny Rand is trying to take on everything else. And it's actually a very well-written and very well-done scene. The big bad in here, I can't figure out who it is yet. I'm trying to do it without looking up shit and spoiling it for myself, but I'm enjoying the big bad, and it's not who I thought it was. So if you're into the Marvel, I'm not going to. If you're into the Marvel Netflix shows, start it. If you need to catch up on everything else, catch up on everything else first. Get it started. You won't regret it. None of them have disappointed me yet. And along with the Defenders, we are getting the Punisher in the fall. He finally gets his own series, and that trailer dropped earlier today.
I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, you and me both.
I wonder why, Mister.
John Bernthal is going to make one hell of a Punisher. I mean, he already has, but I mean, for his own full-length series.
Here's the issue I have with any type of Punisher, like movie, or even with Punisher as a comic book character. What makes a good comic book character? What makes a good superhero? Villains.
Right.
If there is no Joker or Two-Face or any of the rogues gallery that Batman has to fight, nobody cares, because Batman's kind of a two-dimensional character. Superman especially is a two-dimensional character, but because he fights Lex Luthor and fucking Solomon Grundy and Bizarro and stuff like that, he's a little bit more interesting. Punisher has a problem with that, because what does Frank Castle do to bad guys?
He kind of kills them. He kills them.
He murders them with extreme prejudice. You can't build a fucking supervillain with that guy. Or if you do, they're absolutely ridiculous, and he still fucking murders them. Like, that's my biggest problem with Punisher. I think he's a great character. You can't build him as a superhero.
No,
I mean,
I don't
he's-
see this. I
he's
don't see
not.
this as a problem.
well, imagine like at the end of like a fucking Batman comic, Batman offs fucking Joker.
That's it. I stopped reading Batman.
Yeah, why? Like, okay, you killed
I
fucking
feel like
Joker.
I feel like that they have come to this before, and they have a mutual agreement that they'll never off each other.
No, they've come very like. It depends on which storyline you're reading. There's been plenty of times where Batman's come close to killing Joker, and Joker's come close to killing Batman, but like something stops them or something like that shit. But that's not that storyline. The real reason is because Batman needs Joker and Joker needs Batman. And if they want to sell comics with Joker and Batman in them, they need both of them alive. So, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But before we head out, Spot's House did ask, which is the best WrestleMania ever? I am between 13 and 17. Here are the two that I'm going to say. 15, the one where Stone Cold took the title off of Shawn Michaels at the it wasn't San Antonio. It was maybe, I don't know. Anyways,
San
it was the
Antonio
one
was
where-
at the Astrodome.
I think it was at the Astrodome. But the one where Mike Tyson was there as the enforcer. Or, and this one's kind of like an it's kind of a weird opinion, but I think WrestleMania 2000 is quite possibly the best WrestleMania of all time. It just gets sandwiched in between some really good ones and people forget about it.
That's true. Also, Spot's House, thank you for the second spot of 100 bits. I really do appreciate it. Love the support. Thank you so much. But
What do you think as the best WrestleMania?
Best WrestleMania. See, I have a different view on it than you do. You've been watching them for forever. I've only started watching wrestling for about the last 10 years. So as far as WrestleManias that I've been able, yes, that's because of you. We're right. So as far as WrestleManias I've been able to experience, I've seen good. I've seen really, really bad. And I mean really, really bad. For me, I think my favorite WrestleMania might be the first one I ever got to watch live just because of that experience, which would have been 24 was my first one? Yeah, 24 was my first one.
Is that the one where Ric Flair got retired?
Yes.
Yeah, that one was a perfect one.
In particular, that match, Shawn Michaels retiring Ric Flair, that's what got me into it. I watched it and went, oh, fuck, this is awesome.
By the way, Urbanski, the other Chris in our life, got his first win in his first game of PUBG.
Hey, Billy. Hey, Billy. You know what I have for you? I've actually got two of them, and they're right fucking here.
I guess that's what he thinks about you. Is that the one where you see Shawn Michaels? But no, that was a SummerSlam in '94.
Correct.
I think that was a match between him and Razor Ramon. And I got to see every bit of Shawn Michaels' ass, and that's an ass. While nice, I don't want to ever see again. It was when it was in its prime. and as Billy says, he's in the business of getting people chicken dinners.
Well, if you were ever on at the same time as me, maybe you could help me get a chicken dinner, son.
And yes, the Flair match between him and Shawn Michaels, I honestly feel like that's one of the best matches as far as telling a story in a match. I think it's one of the best matches that WWE has ever fucking made.
Absolutely.
But it's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. We actually almost made it to 1 o'clock today, even though we were kind of short on the topics list.
Yep, we almost got there. We want to thank, again, Old Metal Barrett and Mama Metal for joining us for the show tonight. We want to thank Mallard86 for coming in and hanging out with us. Glad to have him back stateside. As I mentioned to you guys, I will not be streaming on Monday due to various social engagements, so you will see me Tuesday night for more Ark Survival Evolved, Episode 6. We're going to go tame a fucking snake, like we talked about earlier, because you can tame a snake. We're going to tame a fucking snake. John, what do you got cooking this week?
Monday is probably going to be Disc Jam. And as always, my schedule's linked underneath my profile. Friday, I know I usually do. I've been doing Fallout. The last couple weeks I haven't. Sorry, folks, they're a fan of the Fallout streams. But I am going to switch that to Observer because I want to play more of that game. I think that game's really good. And it's definitely worth $30. So Friday.
I'm okay with that decision.
Friday is going to be Observer Day. I'll probably start around 6 o'clock and try to do kind of like how I did with my my Fallout streams, where I would go 6 to 10. So be prepared to pack a fucking lunch and sit down with me as we do that.
Hey, John,
But
do you have a schedule for your interactive streams, like Use Your Words, Jackbox, shit like that?
they used to be on my Wednesdays, but since I do the D&D,
Make a spot.
Later spot. Since I've been kind of using that day as my off day, because I was thinking we were going to be doing the D&D stream every week, and we're not. I might switch it up on Wednesdays, being that the fun days, the interactive days. So that might change up, guys. Just keep your eyes in the Discord and on my Twitter at JohnTheJoker13, same as my Twitch handle. That's the easiest way to know when I'm going live. And occasionally I post funny shit on my Twitter. I'm usually pretty active in the Discord. I've been kind of lazy the last couple days because, well, we had visitors and stuff like that. But that's the easiest way to get in touch with all of us here in the Anarchy Arena. And you can learn when other people who are part of the Anarchy Arena are streaming, because we do have a couple of other streamers that are not necessarily part of the talk show that stream within our group.
Absolutely, absolutely. Make sure you guys join the Discord. Just put up the link for you. It's the easiest way to get to know all of us. Also, Spots House for the third time tonight. Thank you very, very much for another 100 bits. You are awesome, man. Really appreciate the support. Mallard, any parting words before we close this out tonight? Man, words are hard.
It's great. Yeah, words are hard. Use your words. Well, it's great to be home. It's great to be back on here and getting to really just be with real internet for a minute that's not constantly cutting in and out on me. But yeah, I miss being able to do this. I miss being able to watch. It's a great community that you guys have built up, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Well, thank you. We really do appreciate that. We try to build it up the best that we can.
Yep, we're doing the best that we can. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the Anarchy Arena Talk Show this week. Make sure you join us next Sunday over on John the Joker's D&D channel, or D&D show on his channel. Excuse me. I'm getting tired, guys. It's been a long day. So and the beer. I'm not even gonna lie, and the beer. So there will be no talk show next week because we're doing D&D. The following week there will be a talk show. Plenty of news going into that show, so make sure you're here for that. Everybody streams. Join the Discord. Follow everybody's channels and Twitter. We really appreciate the support, guys. Thank you for showing up tonight. We love you all. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen of the Anarchy Arena, have a fan-fucking-tastic night.
And may my Harlequins of hype stay fucking hype.
Mallard, do you have a catchy sign off? Do it now. You gotta do it quick. Quick.
Quack,
No,
quack.
Fuck it.
Good night, everybody!
I'll come up with something.